Hap hap 53 Snuffy. Snuff cheer. Hi Snuffy cat kiss. It's a great day to be a cat. Meow meow happy worldwide kitty day meow meow. Snuff blush.
Oh my gosh, wait. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, class. I hope you all brought your books and pens and notebooks and pens and books and pencils. And number 2 lead. Happy Cat Day. Hey, Yasu, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Thank you. I pulled up my thing. Let me drop my lengthy scroll. Okay, we have
Snuff wave
full
you, snuff wave you, snuff
actually,
heart.
technically somebody 4 hours ago subscribed to me with a Prime. Thunder Hermit. I salute you, Thunder Hermit. Thank you. Fulson Getsu, thank you so much for being the first resub today. 53 months, thank you so much. Real Anime Hours for the 72. Sig the Figure, thank you so much for the 61 months. Wreckage, thank you so much for the 17 months. Aegis, thank you so much for the 56 months. Hey, it's Albert, thank you so much for the new Prime. Power Gamer, thank you so much for the 63 months. Good morning. It's not the morning. Hi. I see we've started our routine. Go live, take off my mask, and make me blush. I should not have given you this power. I wanted to zoom out enough so you guys can see my tail. I need to like edit it so it can go up or something. Erection. I have blueberries because I eat like a hamster. Hello? Oh my god, I thought that was potato. You guys scared me. Oh my gosh. Okay. So today we're going to read some warrior cats and stuff. That's a given.
Excited.
But I think I don't know. I guess before we do that, I'll probably do some like chilling, just because I like to talk. I don't know, and I get really into my books. I just want to maybe talk to you guys, but I still kind of want to keep it kind of chill at the same time. I was really eager. I got some new Wii games. They're not anything like too exciting, but I'm already excited for our next like Wii shovelware stream. What did you get? Okay, I'll say one of them is My Pet Silly Monkey. It's basically those pets games, but I don't know, it's called My Silly Monkey, and it just looked really terrifying. You can like dress up your own monkey and stuff, so I don't know why that needs to be on the Wii. Maybe we can throw things at it, but it just looked like fun. Though I think I have a few other games that I'm trying to look for as well. I gotta hunt them down. That sounds disturbingly familiar. Wait, what do you mean? Like you had that game? You had My Pet Silly Monkey? Does Pecora really have a pet monkey? Yes? What kind of monkey is it? Has she ever showed a picture of it? Oh my god, I almost forgot I had those HoloLive cards. We gotta open those next week. She dresses him up. We're gonna play the game then! We're literally gonna play that game. It was made for her. There's just a variety of people that I guess dress up monkeys for their pets. Meow meow oorah! Thank you, Skibby. He's in the mood. I feel like people dress up their cats, so it's not like all that weird, right? I don't know. People dress up their pets all the time. Yeah, I thought maybe I could trigger some... I don't remember if I got any new Instagram stuff. Hold on. Oh, Crazy Monkey. Yeah, thank you. My pet's Crazy Monkey. Still thinking about the Insta account? Yeah. I had like a really bad last 2 days though, so... I literally told myself today, I was like, what am I gonna do for a stream? I think I might, maybe I'll watch the Instagram videos, and I was like, I should set up the Instagram account. And then I just wallowed around in my bed. I didn't do anything productive today. I'm kind of bummed. But hopefully I'll get some well-deserved rest tomorrow. And get the ball rolling once again. Did I have fun with Miku? I got really mad because I was gonna play Miku in bed and I took my iPad into bed and then I forgot that I had to retransfer from my iPad back to my computer and I couldn't play Miku in bed and I was too lazy to get back into my bed. I just crashed out. I was really sad. I was like, yes, Miku in bed, this is gonna be peak. But I transferred all my data because it wasn't working on my iPad. So I have to transfer it back, but you have to get like a special code. I'll do that tonight. I gotta remember. No, it's like you can't play on your account on the same device, I guess. I mean, maybe you can. Not that I know them. So you have to like transfer your account to like device to device. Do it now. That's odd. Yeah, I guess it's kind of strange. It's National Cat Day today. I think without my tail, I already look kind of like cat-like. I wanted to dress up for the occasion. But I don't remember how to take my ears off. I think, was there like a live 2D thing that comes with like animated ears? Why do I feel like that was a thing? I think it exists. Maybe I just don't have it. Oh yeah, I have pink cat ears. Just one ear. I don't know what. It looks so wrong. It's so pointy. I don't know how to change the color of it though. Cat Snuffy? Here we go. Meow. You're happy to see us. Why? My cat behavior. On this day, we remember Pink Cat Snuffy. Let her rest. God rest her soul. Sophie the cat girl. God bless her. Okay, wait, let me remember. Let me look at what Instagram videos I have that I didn't already send you guys. When was that? Oh, the last video I posted was on the 2nd. There's no way. There's no way I found anything that you guys haven't already seen. We still have pink cat emotes on Discord. It just feels wrong. It's like a fragment of myself. Okay, wait, No, you know what? I'll save it. I'll save the Instagram videos for when I make an Instagram. That way we don't have to watch it in a silly way. Just something to look forward to. VTube Studio Workshop, you can get German 985 to your VTube. Is that like a model? Is that like a model? What did you link? Germa VTuber? Germa VTuber model? That's so scary. Oh, Angel. A boober. 4 stars. Somebody had criticisms. It only has the picture. It's hit internet celebrity German 985 made real. The model was made in 2/25/21 as a speed run, and thus is pretty scuffed. So it is like a German model? Now I'm like nervous though, because like I feel like after seeing the Mecha Chameleon like mod, what if somebody puts like malware into your like Germa Live 2D model? Put him in the corner? What if he sees? Okay, fine. I'll install the Germa model. They have a model for tongue sahur. An estrogen stock image. Does that really need to be on the VTube Studio model files as just a stock image though? I guess like I could upload my whole like PNG like mega folder for people if they want anything really cursed. There's a Jax VTuber. How do I look up Germa? Oh my god. Okay. I don't know what this just did. Let me see if there's a Germa on my models now. Oh, I don't see it. Maybe I have to restart. Okay, wait, let me boot up my VTube Studio again. She's gone. VTuber dead forever. Just an empty chat with nowhere to go. In the meantime, while this boots up again, Ember, thank you so much for the sub. 31 months. Thank you so much. Also, Double A, thank you so much for the 63 months. And Evil Hog, thank you so much for the Prime. Oh my god, I still got my ears. My cat ears. Okay, show me the Germa. Wait, is he actually just an item? He's not a model. Dude, he's gone! This is malware. I just downloaded this and it has malware on it now. What happened? Where did it go? How do I know if it worked? I don't see it anywhere. I don't see Germa model. Germa. No, it's... no. It's literally not anywhere. What? Okay, I found it. It asked me, are you sure you want to download this? Okay, yes. It said it put it into the Germa workshop folder. No, here. Okay. Alright. Oh, it's one of those. It's one of those weird ones where it's like South Park animated. I don't like that. I don't like that. He's like segmented. No, put him away. That was that was really scary for a second. What the heck? It was almost like Germa was here. That was a cute model idea though. I wonder what other weird stuff they have. I still have old stuff like Gura Pony. My Little Pony. I need to get like a new My Little Pony avatar so bad. Snuffy, you just missed Germa. I know, he was streaming Dino Blade or whatever. If that's what you guys meant.
Hopcats.
Ugly human. Thank you so much for the 68 months. Snuffy, guess what I'm making? A Germa model. You're making a Germa model. Oh, Warhammer models. Can you make a germ hammer? You should have South Park Snuffy puppet made into VTuber studio model. I have a new like React image I have to get too. That's what I need. I need new Fugi or something. I haven't got a new Fugi in forever. Okay. Let me see. Well, I finished my blueberries. Let me see if we can watch. What to watch today? I'm new to Snuffy lore. When does she turn into a pony? Oh man! Did you see the Aura horns coloring on the Switch? No! I think I saw somebody mention that, but I didn't see anything about it. The Switch version? You know, that makes sense, actually. Because I think the Switch, from the games that I've played, the Switch is always, like, the last... Like Nintendo Online is the last usual, like, provider to ever, like, update apps and stuff. So I wonder if Yoshi had to, like, add a bunch of extra stuff in the Switch one, because it technically will be, like, updated in correct times. Does that make sense, I guess? Like, sometimes when I've played Sky on my phone and my computer and my Switch, like, the phone version will come up and the Switch version will be down for, like, a few more hours because Nintendo just never fucking pushes out the update. Yes, happy International Cat Day! I don't know what I would watch Joe, but I don't know what's going on in the food world. I feel like I don't want to try any current foods. Is this gonna be another Sky Day? I would 100%. That would actually have been a really brilliant idea to do like Sky for like a chilling Saturday stream, because it's pretty chill. But I already did all my dailies, I think, for the most part. God dang it! I should do more Sky though, if you guys want to. It always makes me excited. When you play Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 for the Xbox 360, the 360 might be one of the only consoles that I haven't like picked back up. I think I own everything but like a 360 because I'm scared of them. They're like the shittiest console, to be fair. You could be playing Fable on the 360. Oh yeah, Fable's like PC port like sucks really bad, right? Like really super bad. Does that mean you have an Xbox One? I think I got one a long time ago. It would be awesome if the Warrior Cats games came out today instead of fall. I know! You could watch Home Depot 2026 Halloween animatronics showcase. I think I've seen Meat watch those. That's a good idea. Oh my god, I saw somebody post a picture that they're doing freaking FNAF now and like in the Spirit Halloweens and stuff. I actually like, I can't even believe that it's August already. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. That's nuts. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oh my god, it's basically, you go into the stores and it's already Halloween, and kids are already back in school. What the heck happened to summer? I mean, it's still gonna be hot for the next few months, but man, it's almost the end of the year. Time keeps getting faster. I think I've been having more fun in life, so that means time is getting ever faster because time goes by when you're having fun. So what if that's a good thing, is like when you feel like time is flying by, like the whole year flies by? Do you think that's a good thing then? Because you know what I mean? Time flies by when you're having fun. Soon Christmas. Oh, I'm so excited for Christmas. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Dude, I'm so excited for Christmas. I'm not sure what I have planned for Christmas yet, but I know Maddie was like doodling a few things and showing me, and I'm kind of cramping my pants. It looks so good. I've been waiting for this design for like, God, I feel like we designed this one maybe like almost over a year ago for winter. And I feel like, oh my God, I'm just really excited. We basically like designed it almost immediately after it might have even been like briefly after the main design. But we didn't have time last year because of this debut for this outfit. But the design was so good that I was like, it's okay. I will wait next year for Christmas. I will wait the year after if I have to. It's okay. It's such a peak design. It's so peak. And she gave me 2 different hair options that are so cute. They're so cute. There's a blonde and a brunette. But I can't show you guys. I won't show you yet. I wish I could show you. Was that My Chemical Romance? Or was I just singing? Oh my god, 2 chats. Wait. I don't like the way this layout looks without my gold frame. I miss it so much. I love showcasing everything in beautiful gold framing. Are you jolly? What do you mean? Do I seem that way? I don't know. I think if you wanted to make an astute observation such as that, you could probably assume so. Do I seem like a jolly person? Jolly for Christmas? Yeah, I love Christmas. It's like my favorite holiday. Of course, I was waiting for somebody to be like, oh, jolly like the streamer. My freaking viewers. My freaking viewers. You guys still like that weird, strange Australian man, huh? Mama, 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 mama. Is this too, like, cropped? I feel like it is. This looks good. Let's do like this. Wait, I have two? What? What? I had no idea I had two windows for this. I think I fucked this whole overlay up super bad. Okay, hold on. Give me like 10 seconds to... I probably need more than 10 seconds. Give me approximately 3 minutes to like resize this and go crazy. Go crazy. Go stupid. Go crazy. Go stupid. Maybe I'll just full screen this one. Why the heck not? Okay. I want to do the Spirit Halloween. Look,
This is what everybody's here to see. Freddy. You got Bride thirsting for Frankie. I do not want to mess with this Stay Puft. This Stay Puft looks like bad news.
It is time for our yearly Spirit Halloween tradition. We're gonna be going to 3 to 4 different stores. Each store is a little different. We're gonna show off the latest costumes, the weirdest props, and the craziest animatronics. All the stores we're going to is in Orlando, Florida.
Well, it's supposed to open today. Not open till 6 p.m. Saturday.
I forget, where's like the Spirit Halloween HQ? The homo... Isn't it like North Carolina or something? Why do I think that?
Every single one is a little different. It's like a snowflake. We got some Fortnite characters, Avatar. We're in the thick of it now. The hitchhiking
It's owned by the same people as like Journey or something, right? Journeys.
Why is he like choking
This guy
himself?
looks
Isn't
like
he supposed
Tom
to be
Cruise
choking
if he
someone
was
else?
just like
Fortune's
a guy.
totally here. I wouldn't trust those fortunes with the way those eyes are looking. You got a ghost face
Dude,
soap
skeletons
dispenser,
don't have
sticky hot soap
eyes.
Dispenser, a skull sun catcher. I would feel
Hot
kinda
Topic or
weird grabbing, like,
Spencer's? Oh,
keys
that's
or,
what
like,
I was thinking of.
candy from the
Spencer's,
back.
not Journeys.
Right there.
Journeys is
Cover
like the
that up.
shoe
Ghost
place.
face, salt and pepper shakers. Here's a little ceramic cat. Oh, these are cool. When you put a candle in it, they kind of glow. You got one for Mars Attacks, one for Halloween, one for Trick or Treat. Alien Invasion Area, slow. Wreath, but with Ghostface right there. A little family portrait of Chucky. Ceramic
That
little
looks like
mummies.
AI.
So it looks like you can put a candle inside their head. You need a little cutting board. They have a ghost face cutting board here. They have the most
Oh, I thought it was a
random stuff.
cute
You got
ghost.
the creepy little babies. A little demonic baby. Not gonna look
Can
into
I
those
buy
eyes. A
20
little
of these
baby with the
babies and just
protein.
fill
They're
my
these
yard with
spiders.
spider-eating
What's going on with this?
babies? And I'm just gonna leave it there all year round. I don't know if that breaks any sort of
Let's
law.
try me. Oh. Oh. Lord have mercy. Nope. Nope. Severed latex hands. More severed hands. We got a hanging hand.
Oh my
severed
god,
foot,
the like
hanging
demon
bloodied
sound
arm,
effect is
hanging bloody
fucking
foot, just a giant
awesome.
neck chain. If you need that. Plenty of limbs that you can pick up if you're missing out on those. Try
Oh.
me. Another one of the creepy babies.
You're my best friend for life
Oh no.
and death.
Oh gosh.
A bunch of them into a hand cam stream? That's true. I hope they're not very expensive. I feel like they're easily gonna be like $60 or more for one.
That is your destiny.
You got little alien.
Does that count as a
skeletons right
baby?
there.
Plague
This
Doctor
one's ready
baby?
for their yearly exam, it looks like. You got a little pumpkin skeleton right there. They
I
got
wish I got
snails
into the
that are
plastic
skeletons.
skeleton making
We have just like
business.
skulls with little ropes on it. And then here's like a scarecrow guy. It's like a gourd looking pumpkin head. Here's like the blood and the tissue still on the skull. They got a clown skull right there. Kind of like a more steampunk skull right there. And then skull garland. You don't want standard skull garland, don't worry. They got clown garland right there. Here's all the different like hanging ghosts. You have a rabbit. You got a hanging ghost. Their eyes are supposed to light up. We got a clown right here.
Welcome to the titties. I don't know what he just said.
Here's just like all these zombies. They're all being hung up. It's like they got an
Oh
arrow
my
in their
god.
head. This one
Ow.
has, like,
Oh.
barbed wire
Wow,
all
that's
over it.
actually
And then here's
pretty
an alien,
graphic.
A leaning alien. He's pondering what's going on.
that suddenly,
Who's
like, he
gonna
looks-
probe next? Now, it's their Halloween
He looks
door
kind of like he
cover.
just saw
Pretty
somebody's
great.
fat
So, like, this
ass.
mess
What
that
kind of
just go
face
over
was
your door.
that?
So they got one from Mars Attacks.
Like
Chucky
biting his
jumping through
lip
the
type
door.
shit.
You got Beetlejuice, Dante's Inferno, and then Chucky and the whole family. Classic Michael Myers. And then The Exorcist coming down
He looks
the
like the
stairs.
true-
Hannibal Lecter, Ghostface breaking through the door. They got one of Pennywise. These are not too scary. You have Nightmare Before Christmas, and then Jack and Sally right there for the door covers. And then you have a
I'm
Spider-Man.
surprised
It's
they'd
like
never
the
made
Avengers
like
right
Nightmare
there. And
Before
then
Christmas 2
Elvira.
just to
This is a
milk
great
it
one.
or something.
$55.
It
They
was
got
such a
these new
popular thing.
Frankenstein's monster baby. He's got a little rattle. And they got one for Chucky. And then one
What
of
the
Jason right
heck?
here, their horror baby.
Yassified
They
Chucky
got a
baby.
canvas of Voldemort right there.
That has
Three-pack
nothing to do with
skull Wall
Halloween.
decor. A Dector Pat you can put on your wall. Wrapped up in myself. Got like a hanging pumpkin. A little vampire, and then here's a pig head on a hook.
A lot of babies
and then a
this
human
year. A
head
lot
on
of
a hook,
scary
and
babies.
then an
Nothing be
alien
scaring
head.
people more
Not
than
on a hook,
babies,
but
I
on a
guess.
chain. We've entered the land of plushies. You got Pennywise. You got a little glitter ghost right there. They are like $27. Some of these
Do you
were
guys
things from
have?
last
Oh
year.
my god, the
Like Oogie
plushies are
Boogie saw Oogie Boogie
$27.
last
The
year. But every
robotic
store's a
babies
little
have to
different.
be
Some
like
of the merch
$100.
gets reused year after year. They got a little Sam plush right there, and there's a creepy teddy bear.
Is the
Like a
pumpkin carving
voodoo
game alive this
scarecrow
year?
Teddy bear.
It-
We got some inflatables.
it's
We got a
flipping better be.
gargoyle, the jack-o'-lanterns, inflatable furry spiders, mini
The
skeleton.
babies are here to drain
groundbreaking
my bank
skeleton,
account.
Inflatable
It's gonna be
coffin,
me
mini
when I walk into
jack-o'-lantern
Spirit
skeleton,
Halloween and
then
I
we
have
got
to
snake, a
explain that I
little
told
slither,
my
little
chat that I would
snakey
buy a
snake. We have
bunch of
Spooky
babies for
inflatable,
Halloween.
And then a massive 12-foot tall Pennywise.
I
12
hate
feet.
you.
These are just pretty
I
simple
hate
fog machines.
Pennywise.
And they got the fog juice here.
Man.
And here's some animals. We got some new animals this year. They have a snail, skeleton snail, an evil little pigeon. It's like a zombified Philip the
pigeon?
Seagull, and a mutated little rat. He's even been stitched up on the side. And they got a black cat. Looks like the cat's eyes glow. And then you got a little piggy here. Little piggy is probably not going to be going to the market looking like that. And then
Ew.
is this what the heck is this? A squirrel? Oh, it's an evil
Diseased
squirrel.
animals.
They got some
Evil
zombified
squirrel.
Squirrels here now. And then Scabs, the little chihuahua, returns from last
Ew.
year. 50-inch posable spiders. Oh, these are cool. It's a groundbreaking pumpkin.
Oh,
It's like
that's pretty
gnarly. And then down
cute.
here we have some lanterns, pathway markers with some zombie hands, and then
That's
the
cool,
foggy
too.
skull pile over there. And they have a massive
Smoking
weapon.
skull
You got, like, a
pile.
dagger.
I'm gonna
You
put
got
that in my
massive medieval
room.
swords
When people
that
come
you can
over, I'll
pick up
just be
some
like, "Oh,
axes all
this is
over
my
here.
so-
You need a
my smoking
crowbar or
skull
baseball
pile."
bat. They got that. Fedoras,
Feel free
cowboy
to
hat.
familiarize
This is a
yourself.
pork pie hat. And we got a
Pork
whole wall
pie?
of masks over here. They have a blue mask from Jurassic World. They also have a T-Rex
Classic.
mask, a Nighty Night mask, the Wicked
Yeah, spiders
Scarecrow,
are for
the
free.
wolf
Free for
mask,
fans.
the skeletal evil goat mask right there. Now all their mouths open up, so when you talk, they move. The yellow duck.
Turning
Pumpkin eats
people
some
into
grapes. We
furries
got the horse
slowly with
mask,
that.
And then we got the purge mask.
Yeah, so
And
thank
here
you
we
so
have
much for
the
gifting
Freddy
a sub to
Krueger
Moko.
mask.
Thank you
Then we
so
come over to
much.
Michael Myers
Also,
right
if
there.
you're
The
here,
hooded bird mask.
Nate,
Here's like a cheap
I'm so
Michael
sorry.
Myers mask.
Are
The
you
only way the
here?
real thing, you can kind of look like
Hello?
the Michael Myers Jabberwocky. Then they have Billy.
I have
from
to keep
Saw right
asking.
there. And then here's kind of a full.
I'm gonna
latex
be haunted
Billy from Saw
forever.
mask. A flesh creature. You got Jay right here, and the jack-o'-lantern mask, gas mask, hockey mask, a chrome.
Next year's
faceless
Halloween
mask.
decorations are gonna
This
start
one's
appearing on
pretty
July
cool. They
5th
have
with
a
stuff like
massive
pumpkin-themed
creep show mask here.
swimsuits.
And then here's a
True.
blinking dinosaur mask. Kind of looks like a Dilophosaurus, but it looks like there's a little
A
way to push out
Dilophosaurus? Is
stuff
that
out
what
of
you
its
say?
Nostrils, as if it's kind of like spraying you like
I
a
thought it was a
Dilophosaurus.
dillo.
A bunny furry mask.
What?
Or a gray feline furry mask. So if you want to get your furry on, they got a whole collection
What?
for you with tails
What?
and paws and all that stuff.
Wait,
They got two
unironic,
different
just
types of wigs.
actual
You got the
personas
glam
at
the
Spirit
bald cap,
Halloween.
The
What?
sinister villain.
Is
the
that-
rocker
does that-
curls, the 90s heartthrob.
I was joking
space
when I
cowgirls
said those
are
were
a
gonna
thing,
turn
I
people
guess.
into
Those little
furries, but I guess they literally just.
space blasters.
Oh my
And then
god!
alien
Wait, I want
heads.
that, and
We
I'm
got
gonna
so
be like,
many
ooh, I'm
Art the
firing
Clown
you with my
costumes
horny
everywhere.
ray.
We
I'm
got
turning you into my
Poppy
little
Playtime,
omega.
The Kissy Missy.
And it's just gonna be like,
whatever the hell
"Wah,
that is. The entire wall, just all the ghost face.
I still
You got the
never have
classic
played Poppy
bleeding face,
Playtime.
The What's Up bleeding mask.
What?
Ghost face. You got Halloween 2 right there. The classic knockoff mechanic jumpsuit. Down here we got the Big Top Burger, LED sign of Jason, some portraits of Art, and Leatherface. You have little Chucky right there inside of the box. Wanted, Michael Myers. You got Sam right there. I think these are magnets. It's like a Beetlejuice magnet set with a sandworm coming out. And then Darius calling the Funhouse.
Wait, what's Big Top Burger?
To return.
Like the cartoon?
Of the little dog.
Am I crazy?
There. And then we got the gravestones. We got pumpkin ones. We got ones with ravens on it. We got a bone cross one, the Reaper.
Wait, what? They had something
for the dead.
For Big Top Burger?
Sender. I think the bell. Oh, the bell starts ringing.
Ew.
Something more like a dying cow than a person. What does this one do? Woe to thee who hath departed this earthly realm.
Yeah.
They have an angel.
Whoa, that's kind of dope.
Skulls. We got the Oogie Boogie inflatable costume. Imagine your kid wearing that the entire trick-or-treat season, trying to see through that. Coming to an
That'd be adorable.
Scare Zone soon. You got the Skull Trooper. You can get your Fortnite slippers of Peely. You can get Nanner Bashers, a Boogie Bomb.
I gotta put on my Peely slippers and Nanner Bashers with my Peely pickaxe.
Oh, is this gonna be in the Scare Zone? Please. Please.
Big Dill.
The Big Dill. Look at that. It's like a
I'm gonna rob a bank with this.
Bush Ranger? That's something. What do we have down here? Oh, the Brat, little glizzy kid. And then the Fish Skull. And then Peely. They got Peely.
I'm starting to despise Halloween as much as Christmas because they need to start. They start way too early.
The Harvester. The Headless Horseman.
But maybe it's like a blessing and a curse, is like because things end soon, too soon. People are always like, "Oh, Halloween's already over," so now it's like, "No, Halloween is forever." Oh my God, foreskin.
Like VHS tapes.
What?
And there's 6
Lucky Spy. They sold for like 29 months.
These are cool, yeah. Spirit Home
I kind of like the way the Terrifier guy looks.
But there's
I feel like he's a cooler looking Pennywise, better clown
from
villain.
outer space as a clamshell. This is cool. Elvira,
wait, what are these?
Of the dark. Don't be fined. Please rewind. Be kind. Rewind.
What?
The classic Frankenstein film.
Whoa, wait, what is this? Are these real DVDs? What? Like VHS? Or are they fake? Are they selling fake VHS or real VHS?
Look like VHS
collectibles made
to 6 items inside, I guess. These are cool, yeah. Spirit Home Video. So it looks like the old clamshells, but there's collectibles inside.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, that makes me feel weird. VHS lookalike collectibles. What? Wow. That's modernization, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of funny that they don't even have like an actual VHS inside. It's just, God, are VHSs becoming like glorified now? That's strange. Like their aesthetic, hashtag like, love that record feel, love that loose tape kind of aesthetic. I love that blocky plastic, but I got to grow up with it, so fuck you people for like appropriating my VHS tape. What the heck? I miss it, bring it back. You can't sell fake VHS. Best Buy died for this. Wait, no, not Best Buy. Blockbuster. That's so crazy. Because, like, CD tapes, I hate CD disc tapes. Like, the little plastic shit, that's so cheap and it hurts. You know how many of those I dropped on my toes? The corners and stuff, and they, like, shatter like glass sometimes, too. God, I hated CD cases. But VHS, they were just like crunchy plastic. They felt so good to like open and close. It was really, really rewarding. I don't know how to explain it. I just really love VHS boxes. It's something I probably would even enjoy chewing on. So maybe I could buy these just to chew on it. Out of like a sort of like appease my love of the VHS, but also take out my anger on marketing them. Dancing on its grave.
They got one for Trick or Treat. Killer Clowns from Outer Space as a clamshell. This is cool. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Don't be fined. Please rewind. Be kind.
That's crazy that like part of the collectible VHS aesthetic is the fact that it's supposed to look like something that you rented from Blockbuster. This is so many layers of like pandering, but what? This doesn't even exist anymore. There's no more, like, unless you talk about the library. I don't know where else you can like rent something from.
Rewind. The classic Frankenstein film, reversible package art.
LARPing
This is really cool.
VHS.
This
That's
whole
literally,
collection.
that's
oh my gosh,
so.
The Hash.
What?
Slasher from SpongeBob. Then they got the Nun. I
don't
Spirit
even
Home
think
Video.
the Hatch slinging slasher was that old enough to be on VHS? Huh? That's
the final
crazy.
one, they got Goonies. So inside
remember
here,
that.
6 collectibles of something, but it looks like an old VHS tape.
It
You
had
got
to
the
have been
Grady
just on the
twins,
way
Hannibal
out, because I
Lecter right
feel like
there.
the
You
first
got
season
Glenn
of
from
SpongeBob
Chucky,
was on
and
like
then these came in a couple years ago. I
VHS.
had this one. You got the Killer Clown Spirit Halloween exclusive Funko Pops. JoJo's Ice
Exclusive
Cream.
Funko
From Outer
Pops.
Space. There's Wednesday
Dude,
Addams.
I really told myself I was never gonna buy a Funko Pop, and I'm going crazy because my special interest in Neopets just came out with official fuck-ass Funko Pops in the year 2026, and then they added a special code that gets you special Neo item, and I'm like, you fuck-asses. You fuck-asses are gonna make me have to fucking buy a Funko Pop? Okay.
The Corpse Bride. Michael's having a bad
I don't
hair day.
want it.
They even have Casper right there. And then here's a Killer Clowns from Outer Space
Funko
burger.
fart.
Look at that. Big Top Burger. Wednesday
What?
Addams.
Wait,
Ouija boards.
I missed
They
the
have a
Big
small
Top
collection
Burger.
of animatronics. This is
Hello.
Top Burger. Wednesday. And here's a
Wait.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space burger.
Oh, they're just stealing the name Big Top Burger. It has nothing to do with the cartoon.
Look at that. Big Top Burger.
Unless it was
Wednesday
themed
Addams,
after
Ouija
some other
boards.
horror
They have
game
a small
movie.
collection of animatronics. This is going to be the Willow Witch.
Big time. I was just about to cast that.
$350. They got Michael Myers here.
I would
His arm moves
fuck
a little
that
bit.
thing,
They got the
I
Halloween
think.
music playing right now.
Like,
He's
that's
working
for
on getting some
sex.
gains. Come on, Michael. Do the curl. Do the curl, Michael. Yes, I'm judging you a little bit.
Do you think
You're
that
a
would be
lightweight
like
there,
an
Michael. That
electrical
doesn't even weigh
problem,
that
though?
much. This is Jeremy Jaws for $250.
They gotta make that kind of thing. Whoa!
what's going
That's
on with
not
his
made
eyes?
for sex. It looks like some
Oh my God.
god! Ew!
That's a good little gag. I've never seen that in an animatronic before.
Oh, that's
Where the eye
scary.
and the mouth detach. That is cool.
Whoa.
He needs a good pedicure and a good manicure, but he's looking gnarly. Here we have Cackles for $250. R.I.P. Another lost soul. We got Cackles here.
Cackles?
Well, your
He
head's
looks
gonna split open.
cute.
Oh God. Oh Lord have mercy.
I don't know. The reveal was kind of mid.
They're like the zombies.
I like his face, though.
Here. They got
I wanna
Fishnet
find him-
Patrick, Sandy Cheeks as a costume. We got some different mugs here. We got a Shrek mug. Shrek next to Freddy. Who's more iconic and scary? You have Jason right there. A little poltergeist TV. They're here. This cup looks like you should probably go to the doctor. The brain mold for your Jello. See what Ghostface stuff they have over here. They got the voice changer with the bedazzled
That's also
knife,
true,
and
Apom.
then
Most of the
Scarecrow
VHSs
mask
I
with
had were just
Ghostface. They got a
paper.
pink hoodie right
Paper
here.
sleeves.
Just says Ghostface on it.
Yeah, he's coming.
We got Jason.
Stop
work
it,
shirt.
Tom
I didn't know
Cruise.
Jason worked, but he's wearing that. Counselor Crystal Lake, a bedazzled Jason bag. Here's like an Art the Clown Letterman jacket. It says Art right there. Terrifier.
His name is
09.
Art.
And then you got Art on the back with his sunglasses. You have a heart wristlet of Art the Clown. You got the glasses.
Okay, I
You
didn't
got
know
the
he was
Christmas
so
glasses.
iconic.
Art,
Oh
what-
my
what
god,
happened
he's
with
so
you? You look more like
silly.
Poot than Art the Clown. What's going on with that? They got a cool hoodie here. We got Art right there, Terrifier. And then you got the table leg with the nails and the fork and everything in it. And then the magic sword from Terrifier. and then an axe. And then here's
The
like a baseball
magic
jersey
sword?
with
I
art
gotta
on the back.
watch this.
And then it just
Too
says
bad horror
Terrifier
movies aren't
on
very
the
good
front.
for me.
That's how it looks. You need a bloody drill? They have one of those.
I want to see like where they have all the animatronics set up. This one they just had 4 set up. I want to see all the new crazy stuff. We're gonna head off to the next Spirit Halloween.
A hurricane is like happening, but we're gonna go. We're going to Spirit Halloween right there.
I'm drenched. It's raining so much. Oh my god, oh, puddles. Hopefully they have animatronics. We'll see.
They have it. We've made it in. They got it all.
Whoa!
Welcome to Camp Harbor Lake, 1980.
Man, I want these.
First, we got Jason.
I want to pull one in front of my door for myself, not like outside but inside. So every time I come home, they welcome me home. Oh, hey, babe. Whoa, don't hit my butt.
And then over here, we got this pumpkin guy with an axe.
Oh, he's cute. I like this one. Oh, he has sort of like a harmonica that plays. I've never been in a house or like, I've never trick-or-treated where somebody had these really good ones.
So now
Like
we'll
cool
enter into-
animatronic places.
There's a zombie owl over there. What does this little bug guy do? He probably jumps at you.
Whoa, a bug. I've never, whoa. Yeah, I've only ever seen like blown up ones.
That's it.
Oh yeah, that does look like
The
something
blades
from
move.
Fallout.
Now we can see this switch. I'm interactive. Listen to me and respond with one of the following words: luck, power, love, or money. If you succeed, I'll continue our conversation. If you fail, I'll ask you to try again.
What?
Tell me what you seek. Luck, power, love, or money.
Luck. Luck. Luck.
Now we wait for what follows. And see how
I like her hair. She's got such nice
spine
highlights.
down there, the High Priestess card. Here we have a trash can. Is Oscar the Grouch going to come out?
Wait,
Or is
what was the
Jimothy in
point
trash
of
can?
that?
Who's in there? I don't think it's working. Over here we got Michael Myers. Kind of like the other store, but we'll probably be able to hear him better. Mike is not working here, so I'm glad we went to the other store.
Mike is
where he
not
was
working.
He's tired. He's not working out right now. Let's head into the cabin now. See what's going on. Uh-oh. It's like a radio. Totally awesome. Peace and love. Summer 83. Hello, hello.
What the fuck is scarier than Summer 83?
Over here we have some books.
Oh, I didn't realize this was a something you could buy. I thought this was just part of the display. Ooh, the books. That's more
If you
magical
look
to
up
me.
here,
Like, what are
like
you, a
it says,
wizard?
Got a skelly right there.
You have
It says,
wizard
"Avoid
powers, don't
the
you?
lake." Don't go in the water. What is this? She's got knives.
Kinda hot. Whoa!
Where will my knife land? Nobody knows.
Pee. You got a pee on the back of you.
That's it. That's all she does. Just spins.
I wish she moved her arms a bit. If she's threatening you with knives, it would make a little bit of sense to kind of give him a little bit of a razzle dazzle.
And you try to catch them with your face.
Over here.
As I've gotten older, the
we got a
holidays have lost their
scarecrow laying
magic,
down
except
in
for
the
doing
bed.
stuff for
He's got a
kids.
roach hanging out with him.
No!
Definitely hasn't cleaned this. I like these
It's
little
what you
skulls,
make of
like,
it.
on the
Ew, he like
mattress.
has shard
And there's,
all
like,
over his
tarot
little
cards throughout
bed.
The entire cabin.
Okay, yeah, so have a good night. We'll get into the Warrior Cats reading soon. This one kind of just looks like cooked hamburger. He looks like a hamburger underneath. That's why it doesn't really
This is
scare
cabin
me.
13. We're exiting. Oh my god, this is cool.
The xenomorph!
And look at that.
Oh my god, what big hands that you have.
See, just do a little shimmy. Oh yeah.
I think it should be a lot longer than that. Not to like size
so
shame
cool. I
this
can feel that.
xenomorph. I just thought it was a lot longer than that. It's not very long. It's like smaller
That
than a
thing is
flashlight.
massive. This thing is cool. Look at that. I wish they had prices so you could know what it cost. But over here, along the cabin, here's all the different animatronics. The Screaming Reaper. They got a Pennywise.
Who's
this
Darcy
year.
Doom?
Darcy Doom, Dead Humor, Ghostface, Carnival Creeper, Freddy
Whoa,
Fazbear,
Carnival
the Xenomorph,
Creeper,
Michael Myers,
Freddy
Jason,
Fazbear.
the Willow Witch, Whirling
Guys,
Wendy,
can we
the Pumpkin
fundraise money so
Punisher,
I can buy the
Doomsday
Freddy
Duo,
Fazbear for
the
stream?
Bog Monster, the Trash Bandit, Bart the Clown,
The
Jeremy
Trash
Jaws,
Bandit?
Harvard Carver, Harmonic Hank, Crackles, Buzz, Lady
There's a
Misfortune,
scary
Wind-Up Wally,
raccoon.
Backbend Bonnie, Jumping Spider, Gordo,
Dude,
Scary
Okay, I
City
was being
Scarecrow,
really
Sitting
dorky and I
Scarecrow,
made these pictures of my
Electrified
friends
Corpse.
as
See what
Crocs.
this
Don't
one does.
ask, okay? And I was like looking for the little like Croc attachments to design them for my friends. And I saw that the Croc company had a Jimothy like little attachment, the giblets or whatever. That's crazy. That's crazy that there's like Jimothy's
classic
everywhere.
costume.
It's already
Flaming
he's
hot
already
Cheeto
just like
bag,
mass
the Dumb
printed.
and Dumber, the
Raccoons
Waldo
are so
kit,
awesome.
Bob Ross painting. That's something. They just have like the weirdest stuff here. Happy Gilmore country club hats. Then they got Flamin' Hot Cheetos hats. See, like they have them set up, but they're not working. They're not.
He has a
being plugged in.
U2s? That's
this
crazy.
guy
He's in World
is
of
on all fours.
Warcraft.
This is the other zombie.
Wait,
that
I
we saw
want
at
to
other
see the
store.
creepy crawling clown. Capitalism hopped on him when capitalism had failed him.
No need to worry anymore. There's no one left to hurt you.
Whoa, that's kind of cool. Whoa. Whoa. Ew, her face is really scary. Fallout type shit. You can't
look
say
at
that
this
about
guy.
everything
No,
in
come on.
Halloween. Fallout is clearly a scary game to you, huh? You guys can. You say that about everything.
Finally, I've clawed my way out from the blood depths.
Okay. A little bog monster.
This is a
Oh,
long reset time.
he's going down.
It's time for fresh meat.
They have a lifeguard stand over here. Sorry, we're closed for the
Ugh,
season.
and look
Can't
at his
harbor
weird
lifeguard
eyes.
watching over all this madness. They're not doing too good of a job. Before we go see Freddy, let me see the rest of the store. Dexter Morgan kit,
Aw,
just
man.
like a standard shirt with just his ID and an
He
evidence
knows
tag.
we
That's
just
it.
wanna see
All the
Freddy.
Nightmare on Elm Street stuff.
Not that
Springwood
Freddy.
High. You got Freddy's gloves right there. You got
No, you don't.
press-on Freddy nails.
Press-on
Just a
Freddy
standard
nails?
plastic Freddy mask.
Ooh,
Then they have different
gross.
Chucky outfits that you
Gross.
can pick up. Here's a cool Chucky
Boo.
shirt. It's kind of the same symbolism that's on the box.
Can we
the big
invent
red
a
box.
wait?
And
Is,
the
okay,
Chucky mask
wait.
right there.
Is the Terrifier like the newest of like the iconic Halloween mascots? Because I feel like a lot of them are so old, which is like I'm not judging. I just like when are we gonna invent another one? So is he the newest? The new Halloween legend? Also, hi Bona! Hello, happy Saturday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I think so. Yeah, I don't remember where he came from, but I feel like they've already got multiple movies already. But I want to say like what, maybe it's been around for like 10 years? You're on the train? Oh yeah. Choo choo. I wish I was on a train. Or Megan. I haven't seen any Megan stuff right now, so clearly they're not famous enough. "2016 was when the first movie. Jigsaw? Jigsaw isn't new, right? What? He was in like the 90s at least. That's like 30 years ago. He got his first movie 10 years ago, but he's got more popular in the last year or two.
And then you got the family portrait. You have a Chucky knife. It's double-sided. Here's a purse. That's a popcorn bag. You like horror films too? That's all glitterified. We got the Killer Clown's cotton candy gun. And then we got some Killer Clowns costumes. You got Shorty right there, a wristlet of Pennywise, and then a plastic Pennywise mask.
Jigsaw, the first Jigsaw was 2005. Wow, that's crazy. I thought it was much older than that.
Cap. You got a rhinestone
But that's
axe.
still
like,
20
like, what costume
20
needs a
years old.
rhinestone
21?
axe?
21 years old. I'd call that old, bro.
Police glasses, special police badge.
Yeah, I guess
some furry
technically,
handcuffs.
okay,
We got
technically even the
tracksuits. We got
Terrifier is
hip-hop
probably newer than
tracksuits.
FNAF if
Let's
his
get
newest movie was
physical,
2016. When
workout
did
gear,
FNAF come
workout
out?
wonder.
Don't say...
Trippy hippie
Was it
bodysuit.
also
Say that
2016?
3 times fast. A hippie poncho. You got a hippie chick.
Scary ass
a
hippies.
wildflower hippie. Lots of hippies. A
2014?
Peace and love hippie.
Yes,
This is
that
just
means
the classic
Freddy
hippie. This guy
Fazbear is
probably thought his
older
modeling
as
career
a
was gonna end up
Halloween
very
icon than the
differently than being
Terrifier is.
honorable ruler wig. Here's all the couples costumes. Got a lion suit.
Couple.
A shark
Wait. Okay, so is this gonna be like the Cardinals? Have you guys ever heard about the Cardinal meme about how every time you see like fruity ass like home furniture with cardinals, they're always gay cardinals because there's 2 bright red cardinals. they're always like cuddling and nesting together, but because like nobody ever depicts them as they should be, because girl cardinals are like usually they're not bright red, they're more of a brown color. So this is sort of the same to me. These both look like female lions. So we got the lesbian
Those
lion
costumes.
union
Got a
suit.
lion suit. A
Very
shark
cool.
jumpsuit. Bumblebees. Pandas. Here's some cool hats. I like the little ghosty, little peace sign, skeleton hand. Bedazzled
Good for
coffin.
them.
Hex more. Say less. Here's a classic Spirit logo shirt. It's like a tie-dye design. I haven't seen this costume before for the film Abigail. Get a grandpa outfit. You be a
Abigail,
giant
but
inflatable-
not Megan.
I don't know who
Oh
it
my
is, and,
god!
like, to what? Wait, what are you wearing this to? Like, that's
I
not
saw
gonna help
like
you at all.
I saw like an Instagram video. I gotta dig it back up for you guys, but there's no explanation. They've posted like 5 videos of this person's big pool, and I don't understand if it's a real place. There's literally nothing that like maybe you've seen it. There's no explanation whatsoever, and they have like giant statues of Marvel heroes like looming over the pools as if they're like the lifeguards, but they're like standing up. And for some reason, the Hulk has like a cock coming out of him. None of the others have them. Yeah, the Hulk cock. And it like sprays water into the pool, and you can like stand under it and like receive his stream. Yeah, the Hulk piss shower. I wanted to show it to you guys, but I was like really worried because it's like literally like penis. Like it's actually modeled, just it's not even like, it doesn't even look like it. It's like 100% like his peen. So not that I've also paused during this, but
At a party. Now don't worry, there is one with protection. There's a condom inflatable. No glove, no love. Oktoberfest piggyback, and then a teddy bear piggyback where you're kind of riding on top of the teddy bear, and then you got a squirrel with some nuts.
Someone
Sergeant
showed
short
that on
pants,
stream
wine and corkscrew
recently.
couples
Oh!
costume and
Okay, maybe it'd be
screw it.
okay
More
then.
hose, plumbing services, laying pipes since 1969.
What?
The Dirty Glizzy, balls deep, baseball team, the Sofa King. Bend over. Need a tight seal? I've got the right caulk. Pipe
What
laying
is
expert.
this?
We lay pipe all night long. In and out automotive.
is
Lubrication
this?
expert. God, what does this one say? Humongous deck builders. Get deck. Big deck energy you can trust. Into the
Dude,
back
you
room.
should, you gotta wear this when you go play like Magic the Gathering Commander and you sit down and
All
you got
night
big
long.
deck
In and out
energy.
automotive. Lubrication expert. God, what does this one say? Humongous deck builders. Get deck. Big deck energy.
Get
you
deck.
Can trust. Into the back rooms. There's the back rooms back there.
Is
Oh, we got
Spirit turning
inflatable
into
babies,
discount
wiener dog
Spencers?
inflatable. It says,
Oh,
big weenie on
sweetheart.
it, and then you can be an inflatable chicken.
It has always
a
been this
donkey.
way.
Like, it's got 4 legs. How are you walk around Halloween wearing that thing? This one's always great. The pick me up alien inflatable.
I laugh at this
and
one
then the
every
shark
time.
inflatable right
Classic.
there. Wavy arms guy inflatable. The cow inflatable sadly does not come with milk. I don't think. I think it's just all cow. The classic inflatable dinosaurs, trashy couple. Oh, I should get this and go to Not So Scary for the new crappy Disney trash cans. You got the spiked tea.
What's Not
when
So
one fist
Scary?
isn't enough, 2-fisted tea. Extra hard iced, unoriginal, still packs a punch. Now we got the banana hats, construction cone hats. We got the metallic shark hats, and then
Hot
looks
Topic
like you
just
got a
merged with
hat, and then you got a
Spencers?
rainbow hat
Really?
right behind it, and then you got the
I did
pineapple
not
hat.
even
Like,
know
who's showing
that.
up as hard salami? Tasty Willie Johnson's all
It's
natural
all
rock
like
hard
dick
salami.
jokes.
Extra
I wouldn't
thick,
even want to
gluten-free.
take my
I'm looking
kids
for
here,
masks we
dude.
haven't seen yet.
What if they accidentally wander into this aisle? I feel like Spencer's is more obvious that that's just not a kid-friendly building.
This one is so much
But this is like, this is where you gonna go, unless you go to like Walmart.
The vintage grinning black cat mask, the bald old man. You have the alien. Oh, that's a cool one. The wacky mole clown. It's supposed to work. And then here's a gas mask.
What is a
mask.
wacky mole clown? Like the animal?
Sculpt to it. The apocalypse
Don't
skull
break
mask.
potato here.
Scary teddy bear mask. Saw the duck before. Light up cyborg. Just a silent stalker.
I feel like I must be a really annoying person when I'm always like the hypothetical of like, this isn't safe for kids, but I don't even have a kid. I'm just always gonna assume like, but it probably isn't.
Mounted cow head. But when you talk, the mouth moves. And here's some different types of hats. Here's a light up hat.
That's such a friendly looking cow though.
Got the classic hot dog hat, the cow
These
hat,
are just party. This is not even costume.
It's got like
oh, here we go.
I think we got it from like CVS. CVS used to go crazy with all the Halloween stuff back in the 90s. We see some more of these guys that we saw at the other store, and then we got all the different
The kids will stare at the capybara mask. That's true. They probably won't even notice.
They got a Beetlejuice one.
I never noticed anything like this when I was a kid. When I was a kid and I went to Spirit Halloween, I don't remember this at all.
The different posable spiders. We got some.
But I was obsessed with dressing up like a ninja, so that's obvious. I was just playing with swords the whole time. I don't even remember looking at the walls.
We just make some bubble noises. Here's some skeleton feet if you're just into that. Here's some different pathway markers. These light up. They should light up. It's like all this stuff has been sitting in storage for so long.
All that Kegel practice has been paying off tenfold.
Oh, these are great. These are like evil little candy corn.
Oh.
A gargoyle mister. Looks like fog comes out of it. What are these butt ugly guys? I wish this stuff
They look like crap.
Lit up so I could see how it looks. Like his eyes probably glow. No, I think it talks. Feels like it's an animatronic. Maybe we might find more of the Boogie Monster guys at another Spirit Halloween when we go look for them.
They look like literal poop.
It's supposed to light up. Light up lollipop. The Chucky box. Jack Skellington. The bedazzled bling. Jack Skellington. And you got two Mikey masks next to each other. And we got some different Fortnite stuff that we have not seen before. The Peely Bone one. And then the Scully Scepter. That's like a weapon. Sergeant Drake. Fish stick. And then Punk. Instead of like Ghost from Call of Duty, it's just Skull Commando. Here's like the night vision goggles from Jurassic Park. Here's a cool little
Skull Commando. Yeah, where's Freddy Fazbear? I don't want to see this garbage anymore. Oh, I guess we've already seen most of it.
Dinosaur. Oh, here's some more little creepy baby dolls. Here's one that's like a little
yes,
ghost.
The babies. Like how much are the babies?
This is gross. There's a missing toe down there. It's eating it. Ew. And this one's been eating a cupcake, but it's all over his face. The sugar rush is going to his head, it looks like. What is this? Does this thing move? There's some sort of bib on it with a button. I think it crawls. I think it's a crawling, creepy baby.
None of the electronics work in this one. What a letdown.
Oh, this one works.
I need an army of babies.
Here's one that's feeding glass.
I just need this. I need this whole wall of weird Halloween babies, just like Funko Pops. When people have like lines of Funko Pops, I'll just have my weird animatronic baby wall. Please.
Killer clown.
I already have a bunch of porcelain clowns.
I love that
this
design.
isn't any
These things
different.
are probably super quick.
It's basically the kind of grandma that collects like little dolls, but this is my little animatronic baby collection.
Chucky wants no
I really want that one.
Costumes, annoyed alien.
What the fuck is a fuggler?
Is Captain Underpants still a thing? Like this is back from when I was a kid.
That's so cute.
SpongeBob and Squidward, the Krusty Krab jacket, Plankton as a costume, even Doodlebob. Even Doodlebob has a costume. Classic Spider-Man and Venom, Miles Morales. This is cool. They got Wolverine claws.
Have them in a guest bedroom and have some sort of remote control. They should be like motion activated.
That looks like this. You look like a Twinkie.
If Toy Story was real, I would avoid your house.
Minion costumes. The little kid costumes. Oogie Boogie jumpsuit. Dress your kid up as Zero. They could be Ghostface, Megan.
Oh, there's your one Megan reference is for your child.
Sounds, it says, or E.T. You dress your kid up as ET. It's got a light up finger also. Oh
What?
Lord, your baby's turned into Ghostface. That's just strange when like the face is inside the mouth. We got little candy pails of Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen is
Mickey
not
Mouse,
scary.
SpongeBob's Pineapple House.
SpongeBob.
Bluey. The Toy Story aliens. Bullseye right there. If your kid wants to be a trash truck, they can be a trash truck.
Dragon.
Your
Shut
kid
the
could
fuck
be a
up. I want to look at
caddy
the
for an
dragon.
ambulance ride along. The little lobster, the baby
The
shrimp.
little
Oh, this is
lobster,
good.
the
You can dress
baby
your kid up as
shrimp. Oh
Yoda
my
or as
God.
a little Ewok. Here's these like rubber ducks. They have a duck of the Nun, Victor from the Corpse Bride. Oh, we got the doormats. You have Art the Clown on a doormat. I like this one. I Ain't Afraid of No
Those
Ghosts.
don't even look
Ghostbusters.
like doormats. They
Welcome,
look like
Foolish Mortals.
plastic.
Five Nights
Like
at
this looks like
Freddy's. You
rubber.
have Snoopy
I mean, I
that
guess
says,
there's
"Stay
rubber
spooky."
doormats, but
SpongeBob
I
and
look like I
Patrick
would
Scare
slip
will
on
be
that and
scared.
die.
Welcome. We've been expecting you. With Michael Myers right there. This one has snakes all around it. It says, "Be gone." I don't know what teddy tears are, but I guess these are a new thing. This is kind of like a little Mothman down here, it looks like. We have a wide variety of
I
slippers.
wish there was
You got
more
Maynard right there.
Mothman.
You got Batman.
It's kind of
That's more
strange there
ghosties.
isn't
Lightning
any
McQueen,
cryptid
Ka-chow,
stuff.
Pennywise.
I guess there's
You could be
no
eating your
company
foot.
behind a
Oh, your
cryptid,
wrinkled
so
Ghostface.
if
And
you're
then you
making
got
merch of
Sam
something, it
from
doesn't
Trick or
really
Treat.
pay off
Little
anyone.
Hedwig. They got some Bruce ones from Jaws.
I
You stick
would
your
love
foot
more
inside of his mouth.
cryptid
And then down
representation
here, they
for
got some
Halloween.
Scooby-Doo slippers. You can put your foot, I guess, inside of Stitch. Universal Monsters. You got
Don't
Frankenstein's
do
monster
that. Don't
right
put your
there.
foot
He's
inside
asking
of
for another
Stitch.
cigar. We got Garfield next to, what is this?
Balls?
Slippers. Michael Myers with a little knife on a slipper. Oh, we got mystery boxes. Spooky Labubu's. You got Ghostface Labubu's.
Spooky
Big Top
Labubu.
Tears. These are all like animatronics from the past, I think, for Spirit Halloween. And then
Oh.
Gourd Souls. Mystery plush
Gourd
bag charms.
Souls.
They're going after Labubu. Let's see what's going on with the shirts over here. You got SpongeBob.
Oh, I
you
just
got
want to see
Spider-Man,
Freddy! You
right there.
freaking
Follow your dreams.
tease!
Creep show. Michael Myers giving you the middle finger. You got Michael Myers right there. Coraline is mayonnaise an instrument. Invader Zim.
I want to bash
Practically
my head on the
Magic.
table.
Get in, loser. We're going slashing. The nightmare has only just begun. Halloween 2. I wish it was Friday. Real Men Chase You. Cult Book Club. World Tour. You got Betty Boop right there. Portal to the Cat Dimension. You have Spirit Halloween, but with Freddy right there. This shirt's gonna sell out. Jason Lives. Welcome to Derry. This is a great shirt. It's
The
got all
United
different
States of
kind versions
Cryptids for
Pennywise
learning about
throughout
all kinds of
season 1.
cryptids across
You
the
got
US.
Scream right
Ooh.
there. I Can't Hold My Liquor. Lord Farquaad is up
Lord
there. Dr.
Farquaad,
Pepper.
dot, like,
Next to the
period.
Diet
That's
Coke.
just- okay.
Scream.
It's
Cute
been
but
so long
psycho.
since I've seen a
Terrifier.
genuine
Scary
trick-or-treater.
movie.
I don't know about the
Booze
rest
to
of the
bone.
world, but
The
America got
Fabulous
really
New Vegas.
obsessed
You
with
got Fallout up
trunk
there.
or
You got Art
treating,
right
which I
there.
feel like just
I know you
negates
hang
the
up.
need
Darth
for it.
Maul, Halo,
All of
Keeping It
this.
Real. Let's make a slasher
So,
movie and then Ghostface
that
flipping you off.
sucks.
Some different style
I don't know
plushies
how-
over
I wish I
here
could
than the
put
other
a-
store. Pinocchio. You
like
got
an
Gingy.
animatronic in your
This is more
car,
like a
but I don't
dog
think that
toy.
really
You got
works.
Wednesday, Michael Myers, Elvira right there. Want to play a game? Listen to the cam.
Oh, God.
Capitalizing off of cryptids would be culturally offensive for Native Americans. I don't know if every cryptid has something to do with Native American history, though. Like,
There's so much
Mothman
going on with
is
this spirit.
because of a bunch of
Broken
people
doll
in like
wall
the
decor.
70s
That's
or
creepy.
something
Oh,
thought
look
they
at this
saw a
clock.
guy after
We
like
got
a
neon
bridge
lights. You
fell
got
or something.
Gary
I don't
as-
even
as a pumpkin.
even know.
Michael Myers, Chucky, Time to Floats. We saw some of these portraits at the other one. We got Deadpool there. Mars Attacks, a little blueprint. The Beetlejuice sign. Pennywise. Help resist rust. Oh, this is good. It's a little porthole. And you got the Flying Dutchman right there. Ghostface in front of the house. Hannibal Lecter. Well, welcome to
Hannibal
Crystal Lake. Oh, they got a
Lecter.
Bates Motel down here. That's a cool sign. We got a ton of new side
How come
stuff
they
over
don't
here.
have
We got
like
Gizmo.
Twin Peaks? Oh my god. Just put the minions up there, man. Might as well. Forget it. The Stay Puft guy? I feel emptiness inside of my heart looking at this.
I do not want to mess with this Stay Puft. This Stay Puft looks like bad news. Art, I'm not the paparazzi. Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry. I'll film this one. Okay, you don't work. I'm gonna have to film you, Art.
He's like a Pierrot. Is he like a mime
Yeah,
or
let's see what's going
something?
on.
Does he not talk?
6'7". 6, 7. They have a new nightlight collection of a ghost. It's like a beating heart, a moth, a little bat, a sun catcher of Pennywise. Here's some more sun catchers.
Yeah,
You
he
got
doesn't
Ghostface,
speak.
you got
That's
Tiffany
cool.
And Chucky. You got
Man, I
Bride
want to watch his
ghosting for
movie.
Frankie.
He's really
Somehow
bad.
she
He's
wasn't
really
filmed, so
cute.
I guess he's finally won her over. A pumpkin sun catcher, a rose. Here's some more soap dispensers, some skulls, a little black cat. This is the first bit of love I've seen for the Crypt Keeper. It is kind of weird because it looks like there's like 2 heads on him. I'm not a fan of that design at all. Looks kind of weird and wonky. Put your succulent inside Jason's head. They have some busts here of Jack the Ripper and Lizzie Borden.
Who's
We got Billy
buying
from Hocus
this?
Pocus. See, none of them work. Here's a cool
I don't
idea.
want to
Jason
judge.
carving a pumpkin. and
Terrifier
the
is
pumpkin lights
very
up.
bloody.
Here you
No!
have the Halloween pumpkin. Supposed to light up.
Man!
We have the chair from
Where are my
Beetlejuice, that's great.
psychological
And then we got Chucky
horrors
down
other
here
than
that
my
has blades
daily
illuminated
life?
Just a little bit. Ghostface can hold on to your candles for you. They got walking zombie hands, creepy little beanie babies, walking monster hands, and then we get a knife through a skull. So this
Terrifier
biggest
is
Spirit
the
Halloween by
most
the Loop
gore?
in Orlando, Florida.
I was
This is
really
probably the
hoping it
best one
would
to
be
go to.
the
They're gonna keep adding more
opposite and it
stuff
was
and
gonna
stocking
be
the
like
shelves. This is just opening date. We got some more Squid Game.
maybe it
costumes
wasn't
right here.
bloody.
Here's the Midnight Creeper. You got the
Hyper
Headless
gore?
Butcher. You need a bottle of blood.
Punches
They got
the
that.
wall.
You need a jug of blood. They got that. Sadly, there's no shots of blood. They do have a 1-ounce theatrical blood little tube. You could be a pope or a priest. This priest has a flask of holy water. It's only holy water in there.
I've heard
That's it.
Terrifier
Medical
is
Mary
fucking
Jane.
crazy.
You got
Oh,
hospital
man.
patient. His butt's hanging out. Ha 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 ha.
Oh,
Ha, ha.
man.
Everybody's here to see Freddy.
Finally!
I'll be honest with you, I expected a lot more out of this one.
Oh,
The squeaking, I feel like this thing will probably break pretty quick.
it was kind of squeaky, but I feel like that kind of added to it, maybe. Hey, he looks so cute.
They got dog costumes. They got
I thought
the
that was a
Fart Factory
train. Oh my
cowboy
God.
ride on, fat doggy poncho, a little lobster.
Can I dress up as a
Shrek.
train
I
for
like that one.
Halloween?
That's a good one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They're kinda
They can be
scary. There's
Chucky,
haunted
or Michael
trains.
Myers, or Beetlejuice, or Sam.
How come
or
nobody makes like a
Gizmo,
good old
and then also
haunted
Pennywise.
caboose? You know
This
what I
is
mean?
gross.
I would
It's
buy
like
a haunted
snake
caboose
eating a
or
rat
like
with the
merch
rat
of a
coming to
scary
its
train.
throat. That's gnarly.
But it has to be brand. Hello? Is this just the end? What is this? What does that one do? I didn't see that one. Heat. Okay, hold on. Wait, I'm gonna Google how much the Freddy Fazbear animatronic is. $500? Wait, really? Hold on, wait. It won't tell me. It won't tell me. $4.99. Ugh. Really? Okay, wait. I gotta pee really bad. You guys look up the price for me. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to feed my cats. They were going crazy. I almost got tripped down my stairs. It's very serious in this house if I wasn't feeding my cats. There's like only videos for Spirit Halloween, which is strange because I would think, yeah, like Home Depot probably has some and stuff like that. Oh, this guy has some Home Depot stuff. And then I think the guy we just watched, is that who that was? No, somebody said they celebrated subscribers at Spirit Halloween 2026 flagship store grand opening. Do you think Spirit Halloween doesn't even have like a flagship store? It's also just like a seasonal. So like technically every year there's a different like seasonal one. Like even though it says it's the flagship store, it's different every year because it has to close. I don't know. Here's the Home
How's it
Depot.
going, guys? It's the Pixelated Pumpkin.
And today, Home Depot has revealed all of their new for 2026 Halloween animatronics, so we're going to take a look at all of them. First up, we have the Gremlin trio here, and I think the Gremlin stuff is really cool. I know last year we got the Stripe animatronic, and I was a big fan of that one, though I thought the execution could be a lot better. And here we have three
They look
little
so
Gremlins,
friendly.
all dressed up as they were in the movie, just, you know, three nameless Gremlins. I mean, there were a lot in the movie, but it looks like they managed to
They
nail the
randomly
designs
pick an
pretty
existing
well
location
here.
to become
I
the
have to say, I
host.
think
Yeah, like
this
the
is probably better than the
Olympics.
Stripe animatronic,
Somebody
just
has to
because you're
buy,
getting a
like,
lot more
please,
here, and they
Spirit
just all look
Halloween,
very
open
well
up here.
detailed, honestly, compared to that
Open your
Stripe one. I
flagship
mean,
store
for
in
there
our
being three of
town.
them, the amount of detail we're seeing in the face and extremities here is definitely a lot better than I would have expected, and it definitely looks a lot less cheap than I think I was expecting it to look when it got leaked a
It looks
while
pretty
ago.
cheap to
So
me.
overall, I am pretty satisfied with this one as a fan of the first Gremlins movie. And I don't know, at the end of the day, like, this one isn't terrible, just the animation's very weak.
Hi,
You shouldn't really expect
Fractal!
to get too much animation or really anything crazy like that, but I
Fuck
think it's
Freddy
cool.
for
This is a really
$500.
weird and unique
Home
one.
Depot
This
has
is
a
little
12-foot tall
3-foot
skeleton
mouse
with
plague
LCD
doctor, or I
eyes.
guess
What do you mean
rat plague
LCD?
doctor.
Isn't it LD?
So it's
Wait,
basically
no.
just a tiny little plague doctor that is supposed to be like an anthropomorphic rat. And I think that's really weird and interesting. I'm not exactly sure where they
Anthropomorphic
got this
rat
concept
man.
from, but I think it works kind of. It's definitely
It
like
works
not something
kind
that's
of.
right up my alley per se. But I
5
do think I could
sickening
see a market for
phrases
this.
is what it
My only
says.
problem with this one is that the ears on it are just a little bit too human looking. I mean, I think they should have been a lot bigger if
Oh
it
my
was
god,
a
my
rat.
ears.
I do think the whiskers look good though, and he does have kind of a personality to him, I guess, which is cool. And I mean, for as far as 3-foot props go, you could do a lot worse, and I think this is just like a really, really interesting concept. Not a smash out hit in my opinion, but certainly interesting. Now here we have a really cool one. They love
It's
the pirate
fucking
stuff. Home
Zero
Depot, and I
Hero.
think this is definitely one of the most unique pirate animatronics they gave us. But this is the rotting parrot, and much like the witch at Spirit Halloween this year, what's her name, Willow Witch or something like that. This one actually responds to
I didn't realize that people love the animatronics so much they become like characters in their own, you know what I
There's
mean?
like a simple set of phrases.
It's like, oh, I collected all the clowns from the last 5 years of every launch of Spirit Halloween.
Have a voice line to respond with.
I would have done that if I
This is a
knew.
very interesting concept, and I think they chose a really weird animatronic to put it on.
I'm laughing, but I would have been susceptible to that marketing
probably
easily.
could have chosen a better character to put this on, but at the same time, I feel like this is almost the perfect character to put it on because it kind of feels like.
I don't know
a
if I
Disney
expected Home
theme
Depot
park
to be
item
better than
almost.
Spirit
Like, this is
Halloween.
something I could expect to see at a Disney.
I once
park,
saw a video of like an
especially with the Pirates of the
animatronic,
Caribbean
like
ride. I think that's probably where they got their inspiration from and why
an
they chose to put this
animatronic
technology on a character
convention
like this.
for
But
Halloween
overall, I
and
think,
scary
it
like
looks cool. It's
haunted
probably very big
houses,
in person.
but they said
And the
that
whole
usually
technology
you're not
built in
allowed to
with this
film
guy
it because
is
it
certainly what
spoils
makes it
like
very
the
unique.
product. product
even
or
if it didn't have
something.
that technology,
They're
I
like
would still
revealing
kinda
the
like this one 'cause it's
secrets.
just a
It's
good
only
prop to,
for
like, pair with
investors to
other
tour.
pirate-themed stuff,
So I
and
don't know
Home
if it's
Depot's
ever
really the only
posted on
company that
YouTube
gives us the
much. I've
pirate
never
stuff,
really
so
looked,
when we
but
get it, I typically tend to enjoy it. Here we have another one in the bar series.
AI-powered Halloween decorations. I
I
definitely had a feeling that one of the easiest ways to get away with that is doing like AI voices, because they're already so like heavily distorted. I thought that when that thing was like mooing at us, dude, Babish?
These bar themed props.
Binging with Babish?
One in my opinion.
They
Like, the
freaking
hipster
killed
thing,
him.
Like, this would have been funny if it was released back in 2014 when this was actually
Undead millennial cocktail YouTuber.
Dressed and kind of acted like this. Now, like, nobody really looks like this anymore. This whole
Nobody looks like this
phase, I guess, has
anymore.
moved on, and it kind of died in like the
Is that why he's a 2010 YouTuber?
Like this now, I'm not sure.
That's so
Like I
scary.
said, this was released back in 2014, 2015. I think it would have gotten a kick out of people. But seeing it now, I can't really say I'm a fan
John,
at all.
the
It's
last
just kinda
call
dumb,
mixologist.
and especially from Home
He
Depot,
either
we've
looks like he's from
already had so
2010 or
many
he's
bar
making
props
moonshine
that
from
it's like, they're just
1890.
kind of getting redundant at this point. I think that's Home Depot's biggest issue is that they
He
will
looks
do
like the
same theme of
Moonshiners.
prop over and over
Like, this
and
is
over
literally
again,
what the
making a
Moonshiners look
slightly
like.
new version of it every year, and people are just getting fed up. And I think this one is definitely a sign.
Can
that
you
they
buy
should
this and
maybe
have it as
stop
your
with the
guest on your next bar?
animatronics because it's
Guys,
just
how am
getting
I
old
gonna
at
tell
this
my
point.
accountant
They
that
did
I
really
needed
good
to
when they
buy
first started
all
with
of
them,
these
like Jack Spade and
animatronics
the
for a
pathologist, those were
generous
two phenomenal
thousands of
animatronics.
dollars
But at this point,
for
I'm
work?
done, you know, like, we don't need any more. And
No,
this guy's a
no, no.
perfect
I
example of
need
why we don't
all,
need anymore.
like, what? That's like
Here we
5
have
that I
one
want to
was
buy
supposed
now.
be a part of the
Whoa!
lineup last year. We've all seen this guy for over a year now, but for
Yeah,
some
he has
reason, he was only
tattoos on his
released in
bones. It's so
Canada,
good.
and that's just a decision that confuses me because this is a really cool clown. This is Checkmate Chuckles. He has the red and black version. Of course, there's also the multicolor version of him, which I prefer the multicolor version, but the red and black one is certainly not bad either. I just don't get why they decided to go with 2 color variants, but whatever. As far as clown animatronic go,
Streamer
as far as
accountants
clown
must love their
animatronics go,
job.
I do like this
It's
one. I
kind of
think it's a
funny
clever
on what
concept.
is
You think
considered
something's gonna
like
pop out of his
good
box
for
and
my
then his head
job.
springs up instead, which I think could make for a pretty good jump scare, though I have heard that the quality on these is absolutely atrocious, and it came broken for many, many people during the halfway to Halloween sale when these guys were initially released. And apparently, Home Depot changed their return policy, so it'll be
6
much more
feet
difficult
tall.
to return a prop if it breaks now. So I would be hesitant with ordering this or really anything from them this year because of this new policy. It seems like their quality has taken a dip, so just keep that in mind. At the end of the day, though, I do have to say, as far as clown animatronics go, this is not a bad one at all.
I don't know. I feel like he's very meh. Like, the reveal is... Maybe I need some sort of, like, boom. I expect some sort of shock value, you know? Like, it should scare me.
I said it last
But
year in my Home Depot
he just kind of
videos,
goes...
and
He
I'm
gets
saying it again this
wrecked.
year. This is a pretty
It's
cool
not very
clown.
scary.
Here's a perfect example of Home
It's not
Depot
very
doing the same
scary.
idea over and over again. This is an animated pirate duo, which we've seen from Home Depot many, many times.
They look like
before.
the
This
puzzle
exact
pirates.
concept, the 2 pirate
They
skeletons.
look so
talking
nice,
to each
though.
other.
He looks like
They
he's
were previously made by
smiling.
Pan Asian
That's not
Creations and were
scary.
sold a few years ago, and I know they've done the new version of them like every single year for a long time.
Both mouths
but now it looks like
move.
we have another new version of
Barely.
them.
They're moving
Granted,
like
these are
1
definitely the best
pixel.
ones, the most detailed for sure, and looks like they have the most animation too. And they just look the best overall. But again, at the end of the day, like, this is just so unnecessary considering how many pirate duos we've seen from Home Depot in the past. And it's just like,
I ain't
enough
never
is
seen
enough
a
already.
pirate
You guys,
themed, like,
maybe branch
scary
out and try
house.
some new concepts. But again, Home Depot
They
are
be
the only
moving
company
like
that's
the
even giving
Germa
us pirates,
VTuber.
so I can't complain too much. And it's not like I don't like
They
these
look
guys.
so
Again, I
happy.
said
Look
they're
how
the best
happy they
pirate
look. They
duo
look
we've
so
seen.
nice.
So I'm gonna say, like, sure, fine. This time it's fine. Give us another pirate duo. But please, after this, stop forever. We don't need another one. At the end of the day, really not bad, though, and I do kind of like these guys. This here is the 3-foot, 2-piece Till Death duo. Home Depot's been doing a lot of these 3-foot duo props for the past couple years, and this one is thankfully an original concept and not just a reskin like they did with the pumpkin boy and girl like for like 4 years in a row. I'm happy they're giving us something new here, and I think these are fine. They definitely look out of a Tim Burton movie for sure, or a Henry Selick stop motion movie with those big exaggerated cartoony looking eyes.
They look kind of cute. They just look like Disney characters. They look very
so I like that
Tim
theme a lot. I
Burton
like that
Christmas
concept. I
or
like
whatever
that
it's
vibe.
called.
It's good. It's definitely cool. And with it being a bride and groom, you know, like we've seen a lot of skeleton bride and groom animatronics before.
I don't
These are
understand.
certainly not bad and definitely the cutest of the bunch.
None of the
Not
Home
my
Depot stuff
personal
is
cup of
very
tea, but I
bloody
do
or
think
gory
they
or
are pretty
violent or
neat.
anything. It's just like
Here we
people
have the
chilling.
1,000,000th SVI witch animatronic that Home Depot has given us.
The
and
1,000,000th
another
witch
perfect example
animatronic.
of why Home Depot needs to branch out and try some new Halloween characters, because this is yet another boring generic witch animatronic with
The
really
cauldron
not
is kinda
much going
cool.
on. The stirring of the pot is fine. I mean, it does everything a witch animatronic needs to do, like literally the bare minimum. And it could be a lot sillier looking like many other witch animatronics, so I'm not going to hate on it too much for that. But it's just so boring
I don't
and
know.
generic. We
I
see
guess I
this
think
from
it's
Home
cooler
Depot
than the
every
last one.
Single year. You
The
don't
one that
need to
was
make
like,
a new witch animatronic
say something.
every single year.
I'm
We already have
giving
Lethal
up
Lily. We already have all the
Ardu.
servo witch animatronics. Why are we just making
Luck
these redundant
power
worse
or
versions of those pretty much? Like,
love?
we have so many other options we could go with, and we choose to go with something like this. Home Depot pretty much has the most resources at their hands to make Halloween animatronics with. I mean,
Hello,
this is
dude.
literally one of the biggest companies on the
Witch
planet,
slop.
and they're
You
choosing to
the
give us
guy
these
recording
witch
this
animatronics
definitely
every
is
single
trying to
year.
say
I
this
don't
is
get
some
it.
sort of
Take a
witch
page
slop.
out of
He's really like
HalloweenCostumes.com book
anti this
and
witch,
try
bro.
something new and risky and creative. Here's a generic skeleton that I really love.
Ew,
and I
he
think Home
seems
Depot
so
did a
negative.
great
It kind of
job with
reminds
this
me of
one.
what happened
Home
when I
Depot
tried
loves
watching
just
like
giving us a
movie
bunch of
sins or
skeleton
whatever.
animatronics
Cinema
every year.
Sins.
Like I've said, we've already
I
had the
watched
skeleton
like a
pirate
Cinema
duo,
Sins
and
like movie like I don't know what to call it, video one time because it was really popular. This was really long ago when YouTube still had like a trending tab where it would tell you like what's the #1 trending video on YouTube and stuff. They don't have that anymore, I don't think. And I once clicked on it because I was like, oh, this looks like it could be funny. You know, I saw this movie. And then, yeah, the Cinema Sins videos, they're just like, this guy's acting. Ding! This guy's fucking acting. Ding! They recorded this movie in the middle of the night. Ding! It's just, yeah, it's just weird. I was like, I don't understand. I guess I expected this to be kind of like a valid criticism, but it's always just like... just seems like everything is a negative.
it seems like every time you think they would
Yeah,
run
isn't
out
the
of,
trending
like,
page
unique
gone?
ideas to do with them, they always give you a surprising one like
You
this.
still have it, but you
This
have to
is exactly
dig for
what
it?
the witch
No
animatronic
way!
just
I
like
tried
that
to
should
look
have
for
been
it so
trying to
much.
do,
There's no
'cause
way!
This is the grave robbing skeleton, and he has a whole bunch of crap going on with him that I
Whoa.
absolutely love. For one, you have the jump scares with
Whoa!
the rat popping out
The
of his
jump
chest, which
scare,
is so
okay.
unexpected. And then, of course, the skull pops out of his wheelbarrow there, which is really cool. He himself is kind of a boring character.
I gotta say, I guess Spirit Halloween did a little bit of a better job, in my
For a
opinion.
skeleton to be robbing graves and digging up other skeletons to throw into a wheelbarrow. If this was more of a creepy-looking human person or zombie, I think that would have been better than just a straight-up skeleton.
I used to watch them all the
But
time. I feel like
overall, I
growing
have
up
to
there was
say,
a
this
very
one is
specific
pretty
age
nice,
when I
and
realized
there is a
watching
lot of cool
endless
stuff
snark
happening with them.
content wasn't
Here we
actually
have
any
this year's
fun.
giant
Yeah.
prop. I mean, they always
I guess
love
when you're a
doing
kid for a
giants
while, being
because of the
edgy is
success
fun.
They saw with the 12-foot skeleton, and now we have an 11-foot mummy animatronic. You know what? This one looks pretty cool. It's
The
not too often we
11-foot
see
tall mummy.
mummies. While this guy is much more of a skeleton than he is a mummy, in my opinion. I mean, obviously he has the wraps and everything, but his design is a little less mummy-ish and a little more skeletal. For my liking,
What?
it still is a really cool
Less mummy,
animatronic,
more
and,
skeletal.
I guess not
IMO.
animatronic. But it is a really,
What do you
really
think
cool
is under
Halloween
the
decoration.
wrappings, though?
And
What
honestly,
makes a
it's
mummy
just
a
like-
mummy?
I mean, enough of the giants at this point.
It's
but
a
this
dead
one is pretty
person.
neat. We really don't see too much mummy-themed stuff anymore, and when we
This
get it,
guy
it's
must
always
have
special.
just
And I think
turned
this guy
30.
is
He's so
without a doubt
jaded.
a welcomed addition
Oh
to
no,
the
I'm gonna
very,
turn out
very
like that
small
too.
lineup of mummy animatronics throughout the years.
Haven't you heard my
Here we
opinions
have
on
another, what I would
Nintendo?
consider a giant prop to fall in that sort of lineup.
Holy shit,
Even
that
though it is
LED
4.5
rave
feet tall,
skeleton.
It is an oversized skeleton groundbreaker with some nice lighting and posing features. So definitely the best giant groundbreaker we've seen, in my opinion. Definitely the best detailed and coolest customization options. But at the end of the day, what sense does it make for a skeleton to be this huge? I just don't really understand the giant skeleton stuff too much. Even with the 12-foot skeleton, I'm kind of confused by it. Like,
This would
why
go
is
hard in the
skeleton this
raves.
big?
That's all I can think of
Nobody's
is
that
like
tall.
the
So
colors.
that
He
always
would go
just, like,
hard.
kind of bothered me. I like it when the monsters kind of make sense to be that size, like whether it's a, like, you know, like an orc or a giant or.
They make
even the
sense.
Grim Reaper
Well,
one
what if
made
he
more
was an
sense
orc?
'cause it was like,
What if
you
he
know,
was an
a
orc?
Grim
This could be
Reaper
the
rather than just a
skeleton of an orc. Do you?
skeleton,
I don't
so,
know.
you know, he's a scary monster, but
You're gonna
I mean,
say a
this is cool
giant
for what it
skeleton
is.
isn't
It's
realistic?
Really something I'm not a big fan of, however.
I don't
Here we
under. I
have
want
yet
to.
another skeleton witch from Home Depot. This is
It's
basically
freaking
a new version of the
Halloween.
Macabre Witch, which it is called that, but there was a skeleton witch animatronic from Home Depot a couple years back that looked exactly like this one and was called the same thing as far as I can remember. And you know what? It's
They don't
just
even really
another
move. They just
witch
have moving
animatronic. So it is
hands. Their
cool that
bodies
they
don't move at
moves.
all.
That's
Like
really
none of
the
these
only unique
animatronics
thing
have
here.
moving
I
bodies.
know it was leaked that there was supposed to be a
I think that's kind of where
cowboy
I'm
version of this
disappointed.
animatronic where he held
At
the
least the
cape, and
Halloween,
that sounds
Spirit Halloween
awesome.
kind of had
Don't
like
see any
rotating
cowboy
hips
stuff,
or
so
like
that would've been
they
really
like
cool.
jostled a
But for
bit,
some reason,
or the
Home
arms
Depot
moved.
and the idiots that work there decided to make it a witch for some reason. I don't understand the logic or thinking or reasoning behind that. Would have been so awesome to see a cowboy animatronic. I'm just really upset that we got a witch instead. Like, enough of the frigging witches already. I'm so done. And what a waste of potential. Here we have some new gargoyles for this year. Home Depot likes doing these giant static gargoyles. And
He's
I always
so
think
mad
these
he
are
didn't
honestly
get a
really nice
cowboy
because the sculpts are
animatronic.
typically phenomenal, and
where the
lighting
fuck
on
is
them
the Halloween
always
cowboy?
really
What the
nice as
fuck?
well. Like, it's like fully built in with spotlights on the like gargoyles, as you could see. And it's just like they always do a great job with these, even though they aren't animatronics. I really do like these a lot, and I think this is okay that we see something like this every year. And I was just complaining about that. But, I mean, like, come on, the gargoyles, if they look different enough
I was
from
just
one another,
complaining
it is
about
cool
that,
to
but
see, like, a
it's
new
cool when this
static
is
giant
like this.
gargoyle every year. I mean, you really can't go wrong with these. And this one is probably my favorite one. Of each
Here's
year.
some
Definitely
gargoyles,
better
but
than
it
the ones
honestly
last
just could have
year.
been more cowboys.
The 12-foot skeleton is
What?
back, and this time he actually talks, so that's cool. I'm pretty sure
What?
this is the first version with a servo head and mouth movement, which, I mean, like, you know, 12-foot skeleton is on his 6th year of being now, so they kind of change it up every year. Add a little something new to improve a little bit more from the year prior.
What the fuck is happening? Did he like film the trailer to this and like forget to mute it or something?
I'm not exactly sure if he is the same price as the
I
original
can see
release,
every
or if he's gone
doorstep
up in
from
value
up
because
here.
of the new features he has, like the lighting, the mass movement, and the selectable digital eye stuff he has going on. Apparently you can connect to this with a Bluetooth app as well.
Don't
and
be
I'm
scared,
pretty sure you
little
could,
goons.
he's customizable where you can give him your own lines, or he has built-in ones too. Might be wrong about that, I'm not 100% sure. But at the end of the day, I mean, it is kind of like the ultimate skeleton from last year, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the ultimate customizable skeleton that they had. But the 12 variants, and you know what? I'm not going to complain about this one. 12-foot skeleton, while it's never something I truly love, I still think this is a pretty
Behave, my
cool
tiny
upgrade.
mortal.
Home Depot is going back to their Halloween roots with some new dinosaur skeleton animatronics, and this is kind of a theme they have not touched in many years. So bringing it back is not something I'll complain about because it's been a long time since we've seen anything
Dinosaur
like this from them.
skeleton.
It's not
Okay,
like
I
every
see these
year
at
they
the
do a new
museum all the
skeleton dinosaur
time.
like they do with the witches, but I still think this is pretty cool because this is the zombie velociraptor. And I mean, velociraptors, dinosaurs are always going to be cool, and it's again a very seldom seen thing for Halloween animatronics. I think they did a pretty good job with this one, though my main problem here is that the remaining skin on the velociraptor, it kind of looks like he has hair, which, I mean, it kind of, once you see that, it's hard to unsee it. So that's really my only problem with this one. Other than that, it is very cool looking, and I mean, like, you know what? Dinosaurs are something you don't see very often, so it is cool that Home
I guess
Depot
it
is
does
running
kind of
it
look
back
like
with the
he's got
dinos.
hair, sort
I
of.
haven't seen Wicked, and I'm happy to say
Whoa,
I never
the Wicked
will, but this is
monkeys.
the flying monkey animatronic. And as a fan of the Wizard of Oz movie, the
You can
original
have a
one from the 30s,
whimsical
of
haunted
course,
house.
flying monkeys are pretty cool. Obviously, these are based off the ones from Wicked, though. I think
Flying monkeys are
based
pretty
off the
cool,
original would be cooler.
objectively.
But you know what?
Objectively
This is a
speaking.
weird license to choose. Doesn't make much sense for Halloween, in my opinion. But you know what? Whatever. Like, go for it. Wicked's a popular thing right now. And you know what? They look pretty accurate to the film as far as I could guess.
Yeah, they do look kind of. They look pretty
they did a
good.
job. I haven't seen the movie again, so I'm kind of just.
You'd need like 4 of them. Look at the way that they're just like hoarding in your yard like that.
It's interesting to go with something like this. The animation's decent.
They're witch adjacent, so he hates it.
We'll get, but you know, whatever. If you're a fan, you're a fan. I'm
okay,
to be honest,
okay, not to like reverse criticize, but he's just like rolling his eyes. He's like, not something I would personally get, but you know, like whatever. I'm sorry. How much do you buy from the Halloween animatronic catalog? Is this something you're just like a Christmas list when you're a kid where you're circling everything? Like, yes, I'm going to buy the 11-foot tall $700 skeleton. I'm going to buy the $400 animatronic werewolf. I'm buying the man popping out of gravestone. You're gonna pick up all of these? Really? I find that hard to believe, but I don't. Maybe I'm, you know, I'm judging poor character here.
for Home Depot has not been good. Most of these animatronics
cowboy
are
monkeys,
really
so
not that great.
you know, whatever.
But I think this is probably the best one. This is the evil pixie animatronic. And you know what?
This is the best one?
Does not like the dark fantasy stuff for Halloween. I have to say this thing is pretty awesome. I really do love the way it looks. It's actually pretty scary looking. I think the blinking eyes are awesome. The wing flapping is so cool.
It does look pretty cool.
Design and just the way he's posed on his own little stuff.
But
that comes
again,
included with the
I wish his arms moved. It really doesn't
awesome.
sell it for me.
I think he's so cool looking and just like. You know, once again, not a big fan
I
of
do
dark
like
fantasy
it
stuff, but
though.
this one definitely got me for sure. I do like this one a lot. Though my only complaint with this one is that
you
it
don't
isn't
like
pixie.
fantasy?
This
It's
is more as a
flipping
bat
Halloween.
monster creature looking thing. I mean, it already does kind of look like a bat monster. I just think the face should have been a little more angular, I guess, and kind of
love a
bat-looking.
nasty
The ears
little
definitely
imp
look like
man.
bats, and I mean the bat wings he has are pretty bat-like as well. I think a bat monster version this would be cool. You know, I wouldn't even say? Like, forget about
He's
the
talking.
Pixie,
What
just
does
do
he
a bat monster
say?
version. A bat monster version could exist in tandem.
My only complaint is they probably could have put a cowboy hat on him. Maybe given him a sheriff badge or something.
Not like super thrilled by it. Like there's plenty of other animatronics from other companies this year that have my jaw on the floor. Home Depot this year, there really has not been that one knockout animatronic like they've pretty much had for the past couple of years now. This year has just been very weak overall, but I have to say this is probably the strongest thing. Here we have another 3-foot duo prop. This one being
these ones are
Scarecrows.
cute.
I'm pretty sure we've seen stuff like this like every single year at Home Depot again. But I have to be honest, the design of these guys are very unique and kind of creepy. I really do like their faces. They kind of remind me of Sam from Trick or Treat a little bit with how round they are and, you know, the burlap sack over their heads. But the mouth and eyes are just pretty cool. I like how they light up for sure. And, you know, being Scarecrow children, there's kind of something sinister and creepy about that.
I bet he likes them because they're sort of cowboy core
stuff, as I said, and this is just a pretty decent overall executed.
I could see them haunting the hayfields.
I can't complain about it that much. I do love the Scarecrow stuff, so you know that's always gonna have a soft spot with me, and I think these are pretty nicely done. Here we have one that doesn't necessarily knock me on the floor, but I can sit back and say, wow, that's pretty cool. This is the Giant Plant Monster animatronic, and I think they did a really great job. It doesn't knock you on the
floor? That's pretty crazy to me.
Bones weaved into his actual form, which is really cool because it's almost like he ate humans and then they became a part of his system as he sort of grew and into this monster you see here. I think the faces on it are really
it's kind of like a Stranger Things concept.
Like flytrap-like heads. And,
he needs a cowboy hat to be impressed and knocked on the floor, I suppose.
And the fact that there's also head animation on this one is not something I would have expected, and if it didn't have it, I would have been fine, but it's certainly nice that it's here. And just overall, I really just love the design and sculpt of this one. It just looks pretty
I thought that was his ass.
And it's very unique. We really don't see that much plant stuff, so when we do, I'm always like interested to see how it's gonna come out. I think they did a good job
like that one. I have not really seen a lot of plant horror recently.
Monster,
Whoa!
This guy's a tree. This is the giant dry rot Dennis. Not even sure why they gave him
Dennis?
a name. It's pretty funny though. I think this one's pretty cool. It's another giant prop. We've been seeing a lot of the trees for the past couple years now.
Thank you so much for the tubes.
And, you know, at least
years!
it's not, like, redundant with how
Happy
they make
Cat
them. They
Day.
always try something a little
So
bit new with
Cyphers,
them
thank you so
every
much for
year.
the 13
And this year we
months.
have a giant tree monster, like an actual, almost humanoid-looking one this time. And I think this looks really cool. It is static, which, you know,
Brilliant
unfortunate
bark
compared to
texture
the other one
throughout.
we just looked at, which had animation. I feel like they could have worked animation in this guy somewhere. But overall, he is very cool
Hey
looking.
Snuffy,
I do
hope
really,
you
really
feel
love the
I'm
face
fine
on
from
him
you
for sure.
me.
And he
Seriously,
does have another
hope
dark
you are
fantasy
having a
vibe
good
kind of
day.
going on, but I think it works here certainly. And you know, I am a big fan of the tree monster stuff. I always think it ends up looking pretty cool.
What
I
other
do
what
love the
other
tree they made
things?
originally the best probably, but this one's pretty cool. This seems like
What
something
other
more
like
is certainly
showcases
better
would there
executed
be?
than Young
What is
Crouchy
this?
with Crouchy of Home Depot.
LED
This is
baby
the
troll?
LED baby troll animatronic. Last year we had the giant full-size troll, which I actually really loved. And we have a baby version of it, and you know what? While it is certainly better executed than Young Crouchy, where they
Does this
actually
count in my
made him
baby
look like a
collection?
baby and then just shrink the animatronic down.
It
to
looks
a
like the
smaller
meat,
size.
like
This thing is definitely
the
better than
meat
Crouchy, don't
baby,
get me
the
wrong.
meat
But
Grinch
that doesn't mean
baby.
it's good. This thing is just kind of stupid, lame, and nowhere near as
Yeah,
cool as that
KJ, it's the
original troll
fucking meat
animatronic
Grinch
Home Depot
baby.
gave us. You know, I'm not a big fan of the super dumb and silly kid stuff. And, like, I mean, like, if you want to pair the two
Stupid and
up,
lame.
that's probably fine. But on its own, this is just such a stupid, dumb Halloween animatronic. And I can't help but really hate it. I'm sorry to all the little baby troll fans out there. Certainly, I am not one of them. From Lilo and Stitch, here we have the Mummy Stitch animatronic. And
Dude,
as far as
Stitch
the
is
Disney
coming
licensed
back
stuff
in
goes,
such
I
an
mean, this is
intense
fine.
way.
We've seen Mickey Mouse
Aw.
animatronics at Home Depot. We've seen, you know, other animated properties. And now we have Stitch. Not a huge fan of this one. I mean, I would rather see other licensed stuff over the Disney stuff, but I know there's always a market for this, so I'm not going to complain about this guy at all. And it does look pretty accurate to how you would see Stitch getting pulled out of a Disney cartoon and brought into real life. I think they did a good job carrying him over, turning him from 2D into 3D, while still
He's not a
maintaining his
fan of
cartoon
anything.
edge. He also comes with a Christmas outfit, of
A
course. which
Christmas
a lot of these
outfit?
Disney licensed props do, so it's like a 2-in-1 deal, which is nice
Who
as
is
well.
putting out
I'm sure you could take
animatronics
all
for
the holiday
Christmas?
stuff off him and just have
My
him as
Christmas
Stitch.
house.
But overall,
I
he's
lock him
pretty
in my
cool.
basement.
And apparently, I did hear that we were supposed to get a Creature from the Black Lagoon animatronic, and you know, instead of that, I don't want to say instead of that, but they decided to not make that for some reason.
Oh my God,
and
no!
They keep
Don't.
him as Disney licensed characters. Like, come on, like the
No.
Creature from the Black Lagoon, way cooler than this would have been. Like, I'm
No,
sorry to all the Lilo and Stitch fans out there. I
That's
like this thing,
that's
but
your
if it was between this-
opinion. That's like your opinion, man. Wait, what other kind of Halloween showcases will there be? I want to see Halloween animatronic showcases. There's one called HalloweenCostumes.com. That sounds kind of fake. I don't know if that's good or not. There's Lowe's. I don't know if Lowe's is like Walmart, Home Depot, right? Does that piss people off? Is that like rooting for the wrong sports team? This is the HalloweenCostumes.com. Oh my God, it's an hour long. Wait, it's an hour long. Wait, why is this kind of sexy? Why has this guy got his boobs out? Man, I kind of want to watch this. This looks kind of cool, but it's an hour long, so maybe I should hold off on it for another day.
And if you want to purchase anything that you see in this video, please. It's only a matter of time before somebody decided to make a Halloween animatronic of him. And I have to say, they did a spectacular job.
Bruce
bringing
Campbell,
this
sex
character to life
symbol and
here.
violence
Now, I'm no
expert.
fan
I
of
don't
the
know
Poppy
who that
Playtime
is.
Games. I've not
Oh yeah,
really paid
I thought that was
attention to a single
Ash.
one of them since they came out.
Herwolf,
But
thank
I
you so
do
much
know
for
how
the
you
41
Wuggy,
months.
and I do know that this is a pretty cool design for a scary monster that's supposed to be a kid-friendly toy turned into a vicious, bloodthirsty monster. And I think, again,
I've
like
seen
I
the
said,
first
the
Evil
accuracy
Dead
to the
because it
game
was
here
so
is top-notch,
campy it wasn't
1-to-1.
horror, I
You
think.
really cannot do any better than this, and I think they did a fantastic job with how he looks. The animation, he just kind of rocks from side to side, and that's all right with me. I know he's very scary and he crawls through vents and stuff in the games, but it seems like he's a little more restrained here, which I guess is good for all the humans in front of him. But I think some more animation.
I want to
maybe
see,
with
are
the
these going to
head
be
could have been more
good? Is this
interesting.
going to be one we should... Whoa.
You want to know how I got him? Let's put a smile on that face. And...
No, Joker, don't do it!
Now I'm always smiling. Why so serious?
I think I would be a good Joker. I think I have a good Joker laugh.
I cannot believe that this is a real Halloween animatronic. Here we have the Heath Ledger Joker from Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight film. Wow.
There was another one too later on. There's Harley Quinn and the Joker.
Literally pulled this thing straight out of the cartoon, and I think it is perfect. Literally perfect. I am a massive, massive fan of Batman the Animated Series. It is one of the best television shows of all time, and this is one of the best villains of all time, and I think they absolutely nailed the design here. I think the animation is cool as well. It's very simple. Honestly, they could have had this guy as a static, and I would have still absolutely loved him, but the fact he is animated is nice as well, and the phrases are really
Oh wait, let me hear the
cool.
phrases.
I'm not exactly sure if they lift the phrases directly from the show. I can't really tell if that's Mark Hamill talking or not, because it doesn't sound exactly like his Joker voice.
Hello?
I might just be tripping, or
Wait, does it start with it?
And a symbol. The Joker card. Now that's a nice touch. Here, have a souvenir.
That's fucking cool. Dude, they have Edward Scissorhands and stuff. Wait, this one looks crazy good. Dude, that's okay. I want to watch this one, but it's kind of, that one's really long, so I'll probably watch that another time. Fuck, maybe next stream we can watch some more React stuff, because that was pretty cool. But I do want to get into some book reading today. I did promise everyone that that's what today would be, so I'll try my best and we shall do some book read. Indeed. I'm excited. That was a good suggestion for reacts, by the way. Thank you so much. I really want to get into the other stuff too. Like watch more. This is addicting. Oh, drat. I said I would set up the magma thing and I completely forgot too. I really wanted to make a magma so everyone can draw. I don't know if Obe is probably here. I don't know, Obe, if you feel confident enough in it, but if you could orchestrate maybe a magma canvas for people. I just want to be able to have some sort of doodles that symbolize the chapters we read through, because I really like that. That's like my personal like obsession, is that I love to look back at the chapters we read and saw what everyone had doodled during it. Let me see what I can do. Yeah, I usually use the website called Magma, but you might have to make like an account or something. And we can, we'll just pin it in the chat or whatever. Okay. So, I will now segue to Warrior Cats. Let me change the topic. No, I don't need white noise. Just give me forest sounds, please. Thank you. Big Meow, it's your day. Happy International Cat Day. Okay, so before in Warriors Book 2, we finished on chapter, I think we just finished chapter 4. So we're gonna start chapter 5 today. I don't know how far we're gonna go, but the last time we read something, Gray Paw and Fire Paw, or whatever their names are now. They were, Graystripe and Fireheart were looking for Wind Clan, and they were just entering the city of Philadelphia. Or what it sounded like. They were looking for Wind Clan, who had been chased out by Shadow Clan from their territory, and they hadn't been heard of in many moons. So Blue Star tasked Fireheart and Graystripe to go find them themselves as their first task as warriors. Sent you the board, pasted link in chat. Okay, KJ, do you think you could pin that for me? And just let everyone know that this is a canvas that'll be saved. Did know if you wanted it in the background. I might put it on the background for AFKing, but I kind of like my stage setup. There's not much room to do the doodles, but I might work on it as well. Obviously, we do have the redeems if you guys want to use the cat redeems. If you ever hear the cat say, like, he meows loudly or something, feel free to press the button and meow along. I think it's really fun. Otherwise, it'll be kind of a wind down night, and we'll be doing mostly sort of an ASMR reading. I appreciate you guys for coming aboard and wanting to listen to the book. Warriors is super fun. Now's a great time to get into it. It seems like the fandom is growing quite fast with all the recent news, so if you want to know the lore, come sit down right here. My little curators. Actually, speaking of curators, I need to get my little guy here. He should be part of it. Here we go. I'll be over there. He must help me perform. Alrighty. It might take me a moment to get into the readings. Also, if you guys want to catch up with the books at all, Obey does have a collection of them. I should really pin them and link them on the channel somewhere, but that is available. Still, let me turn up the sound effects really quick, maybe. Okay. Thank you, KJ. Obviously, please be respectful when you do draw and be kind of other people's spaces. Here we go. Chapter 5. Fireheart waited until the only sound he could hear was the pounding of blood in his ears. Then he padded to the edge of the thunder path. It stretched ahead of him, wide and foul-smelling, but silent. Fireheart darted out. The ground beneath his paws felt cold and smooth. He didn't stop until he reached the grass on the other side. The air here was tainted by the acrid smell of the thunder path and its monsters, so Fireheart headed toward the hedge. Still, there was no trace of the Wind Clan cats. His heart sank. Suddenly, a monster tore past, making Fireheart leap into the air with terror. He scrambled underneath the hedge and crouched, trembling, frantically wondering what to do next. Then he smelled it. The faintest trace carried on the wind that monster had stirred up. Wind Clan had been here. The background is a little loud. Okay. It was hard to tell. Thank you. Okay, back to that. Fucking loud ass birds. Hiss. Fireheart called as loudly as he could to Graystripe. There was a pause. Then the sound of paws pounding across the thunder path to join him. Have you found it? Puffed his friend. Not sure, but I got a whiff. I can't yet pinpoint it. Fireheart pushed his way through the hedge, Graystripe right behind him. He lifted his nose toward the open field ahead of them. Have you any idea what's over there? No, replied Graystripe. I shouldn't think any clan cat has ever been this far before. Except Wind Clan, muttered Fireheart darkly. Away from the confusing fumes of the Thunder Path, the trail was suddenly clear. Wind Clan had definitely come this way. The two cats struck out through the long grass, straight across the field. Fireheart! Graystripe sounded alarmed. What is it? Look! Fireheart stopped and lifted his head. He saw a thunder path ahead of them arching high into the air on a massive stone leg, illuminated by the eyes of monsters that moved along it. Another thunder path ran below, veering off into the darkness. Graystripe nodded toward the tall thistle. And smell this! Fireheart inhaled the scent. It was a fresh Wind Clan marker. Is that like straight cat pheromones? Did bro just like, oh, yeah, those are Wind Clan bitches if I ever smelled them. Like, what does it mean, a marker? I feel like that's kind of inappropriate. A pang of excitement twisted Fireheart's stomach. Both cats looked silently at each other for a moment. Then, without a word, they moved on toward the stinking thunder paths. Graystripe spoke at last. Why would Wind Clan come to a place like this? I guess not even Broken Star would want to follow him here, Fireheart answered grimly. He stopped. A thought was nagging him. Graystripe paused beside him. What is it? If Wind Clan is hiding so near the thunder paths, Fireheart meowed slowly, they must be fairly desperate not to be found. They're more than likely to trust us if we arrive in daylight than if we creep up on them in the darkness. Does that mean we can rest? Asked Graystripe, sitting down heavily. Just until it's light, meowed Fireheart. We'll find somewhere to hide and see if we can get some sleep. Are you hungry? Graystripe shook his head. Me neither, Fireheart agreed. I don't know if it's those herbs or because of the stench from the thunder path is making me feel sick. Where shall we sleep? Graystripe looked around. Fireheart had already noticed a dark shadow in the ground up ahead. What's that? A burrow? Graystripe sounded puzzled. It's too big for a rabbit. Surely there can't be a badger set here. Let's take a look, Fireheart suggested. The hole was larger than a badger set, smooth and lined with stone. Fireheart sniffed it, then put his front paws on its rim and peered cautiously inside. A stone tunnel sloped away, down into the ground. I can feel air flowing through it, he meowed, his voice echoing away into the shadows. It must come up somewhere over there. He ducked back out and pointed his nose toward the tangle of the thunder paths. Is it empty? Graystripe asked. Smells like it. Come on, then. Graystripe led the way into the tunnel. After a few fox lengths, the slope leveled out. Fireheart halted and sniffed the damp air. He could smell nothing but the fumes of the thunder path. A roaring noise rumbled overhead. Fireheart's paws trembled as the stone floor vibrated. Was the thunder path above them? He fluffed out his coat against the relentless draft and felt Graystripe's fur brush against him. His friend was circling, preparing to settle down to sleep. Fireheart crouched down and huddled beside his friend. He closed his stinging eyes and thought of the gentle forest breeze and the rustling of the leaves. Exhaustion fought briefly with the pang of longing to be at home in his den before he gave in to the blackness that swam into his mind. When Fireheart opened his eyes again, gray light was glowing at the end of the tunnel. Dawn must be near. Fireheart's bones ached from the cold, hard ground. He nudged Graystripe, who grunted. "Morning already?" "Almost," Fireheart answered, getting to his paws. Graystripe stretched and stood up too. "I think that we should head that way," Fireheart meowed, craning his neck away from the light. "I think this tunnel leads right under a thunder path. It might take us nearer to the—" His voice trailed off. He had no words to describe the tangle of thunder paths they had seen last night. Beside him, Graystripe nodded, and together they began to pad wordlessly into the darkness. Before long, Fireheart spotted light ahead of them. They quickened their pace until they were racing up a short, steep slope that led them into a world filled with gray dawn light. They had come up near the edge of a patch of barren, dirty grass. The thunder path enclosed it on two sides, and another arched overhead. A fire burned in the middle of the grass. A few two-legs had laid around it. One of them stretched and rolled over, and another grunted angrily in its sleep, but the noise and stench from the thunder path didn't seem to wake them. Fireheart watched them warily, then froze as something else caught his eye. Dark outlines that flitted back and forth in front of the flames. Cats! Could it be WindClan? Fireheart looked at the fire and the cats, and his mind flooded with the memory of his dream, the noise of the thunder path, the sight of the flames and the cats, and Spotted Leaf's voice murmuring, "Fire will save the clan." A surge of emotion made Fireheart's legs feel weak. Did this mean that ThunderClan's fate was bound up with the fate of WindClan? Fireheart! Fireheart! Graystripe's voice jolted Fireheart back to reality. He breathed deeply to calm himself. "We must find Tallstar and speak with him," he meowed. "Then you think it is WindClan?" asked Graystripe. "You smelled their marker. Who else could it be?" Fireheart replied. Graystripe looked at him, his eyes shining with triumph. "We found them." Fireheart nodded. He didn't point out that finding WindClan was only half their mission. They still had to convince them that it was safe to return. Graystripe braced himself, ready to leap forward. "Let's go!" "Hang on," Fireheart warned. "We don't want to startle them." Just then, one of the two-legs sat up with a jolt and began shouting at the ragged cats around the fire. The noise roused the other two-legs, who joined in with rough, angry voices. The WindClan cats scattered, all caution forgotten. Fireheart and Graystripe raced after them. Fireheart could feel his fur prickle with fear as he and Graystripe ran straight toward the fire and the two-legs. Every instinct told him to keep away, but he dared not lose sight of the fleeing WindClan cats. One of the two-legs staggered to its feet, looming up in front of him. Fireheart skidded, sending a spray of dust. Something exploded beside him, pelting him with hard-edged splinters, but nothing pierced his thick coat. He glanced backwards, checking for Graystripe. He was relieved to see his friend right behind him, his eyes wide with alarm and his fur standing on end. They charged into the safety of the shadows beneath the soaring thunderpath. Ahead, Fireheart watched the WindClan cats stop close to one of the thunderpath's great stone legs, and then, one by one, the cats disappeared into the ground. Where did they go? Meowed Graystripe in amazement. Another tunnel? Fireheart suggested. Come on, let's find out. Cautiously, the two friends approached the spot where the WindClan cats had vanished. As they neared, they saw a hole in the earth. Like their resting place on the previous night, the entrance was round and lined with stone, sloping away into the utter blackness. Fireheart led the way, all his senses alert for a WindClan patrol. The floor beneath his paws felt wet and slimy, and the sound of trickling water echoed around them. As the tunnel leveled out, Fireheart pricked his ears and opened his mouth. The damp air smelled rank and bitter, worse than the tunnel they had slept in. Here the thunderpath fumes mingled with the fear scent of WindClan cats. It was too dark to see anything, but after a few paces, Fireheart's whiskers sensed a turning in the tunnel. Fireheart flicked his tail, touching Graystripe lightly with its tip. He couldn't see his friend in the blackness, but Graystripe must have felt the signal because he stopped beside Fireheart, and together they peered around the corner. Ahead of them, the tunnel was lit by a narrow hole in the ceiling that led to the wasteland above. Fireheart could see many cats huddled together in the gray light. Warriors and elders, queens and kits, all pitifully thin. A cold breeze blew relentlessly through the hole in the roof, stirring the thin fur on the skinny bodies. Fireheart shuddered, for the breeze carried to him and the stench of the sickness and crow food. Suddenly, the tunnel shook as a monster roared overhead. Graystripe and Fireheart, already tense, jumped, but the WindClan cats didn't react. They simply huddled with half-closed eyes, numb to their surroundings. The noise died away, and Fireheart took a deep breath and stepped around the corner, out into the thin light. A gray WindClan Tom spun around, his fur standing on end as he yowled in alarm to the rest of the clan. In one smooth movement, the WindClan warriors formed a line across the tunnel in front of the queens and elders, their backs arched, hissing fiercely. With a feeling of dread, Fireheart saw a glimpse of unsheathed claws and thorn-sharp fangs. These half-starved cats were about to attack. End of chapter 5. Sorry, I'm also sipping my tea in between. Okay, so we found WindClan, but they are not doing so good. It looks like they've basically nestled themselves into a sewer, and they're just starving and dying now. Pretty sad, actually. Chapter 6. Fireheart pressed his body warmingly against Graystripe, who had padded out to join him. They had to show no threat if they were about to survive. The WindClan warriors stood their ground without moving a muscle. They're waiting for a signal from their leader, Fireheart realized. They still follow the warrior code, even though they have to live like this. From behind the line of warriors, a black and white Tom weaved his way to the front. With a jolt, Fireheart recognized the long-tailed cat from his dream. This must be Tallstar, leader of Wind Clan. Tallstar sniffed the air, but Fireheart and Graystripe were downwind, their scents carried away by the steady breeze. As the black and white cat walked toward them, Fireheart breathed in the rank odor of crow food that hung on his coat. Like Graystripe, he remained perfectly still, his eyes down, as Tallstar circled them, sniffing their fur closely. Finally, Tallstar returned to his warriors. Fireheart heard him murmur, "ThunderClan." The warriors flattened their fur but remained in a defensive line, shielding the rest of the cats. Tallstar turned to face his visitors and sat down, curling his tail carefully around his paws. "I was expecting ShadowClan," he growled. His eyes burned with hostility. "Why are you here?" "We came to find you," Fireheart meowed, feeling his voice crack with tension. "Bluestar and the other clan leaders want you to return home." The Wind Clan leader's voice was still wary. "That land is not safe for my clan anymore," he meowed. There was a hunted look in Tallstar's eyes that sent a pang of sorrow through Fireheart. "ShadowClan has driven out Broken Star," he meowed. "He is no longer a threat." The warriors behind Tallstar turned and looked at one another. Murmurs of surprise rippled back through the clan. "You must return as soon as possible," Fireheart urged. "ShadowClan and RiverClan are starting to hunt in the uplands. We saw a RiverClan hunting patrol near the old Badger set while we were on our way here." Tallstar bristled angrily. "But they are poor rabbit hunters," Graystripe added. "I think they went home with empty bellies." Tallstar and his warriors purred with satisfaction. Their good spirits encouraged Fireheart, but he could see how weak they were. This clan would find the journey back to the uplands long and hard. "May we travel with you?" he suggested respectfully. Tallstar's eyes flashed. He knew the question was a tactful offer of help. He looked steadily at Fireheart. "Yes," he replied at last. "Thank you." Fireheart realized he hadn't introduced himself. "This is Graystripe," he meowed, dipping his head. "And I am Fireheart. We are warriors of ThunderClan." "Fireheart," repeated Tallstar thoughtfully. Sunlight was flooding through the gap of the roof now, making Fireheart's orange pelt glow in the dim tunnel. "The name suits you." Oh my gosh, I forgot. I'm so sorry. Wait. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry because I appreciate you. I'm not sorry because I appreciate you, but I'm sorry. I forgot to mute the alerts. Sycamore, thank you so much for the 1 year now. Thank you. No, I'm so sorry. I'm glad. I'm honestly glad you made me realize that. So thank you. I appreciate you. One year. Okay. Where was I? Ah, yes. Fireheart. I gotta find a better... I'm struggling here. I gotta think of a better way. Tallstar is really cool. I gotta find a cool voice for him. He's chill. I gotta find out how to voice his lines. Fireheart, repeated Tallstar thoughtfully. Sunlight was flooding through the gap of the roof now, making Fireheart's orange pelt glow in the dim tunnel. "The name suits you." Another monster roared overhead. Fireheart and Graystripe flinched. Tallstar watched them with amusement and flicked his tail. It must have been a signal, for the line of warriors behind him split up. "We shall leave at once," he announced, standing up. "Are we all fit for the journey?" Tallstar asked as the warriors began to move among the queens and elders. "All except Morning Flower's kit," replied a mottled brown warrior. "He is too young." "Then we must take turns carrying him," answered Tallstar. The Wind Clan cats shuffled forward, their eyes dull with pain and exhaustion. A tortoiseshell queen was holding a tiny kit gently by the scruff of its neck. The little creature's eyes were hardly open. "Ready?" called Tallstar. A black tom with a misshapen paw looked around the clan and answered for them. "Ready," he meowed. Fireheart and Graystripe turned and made their way back to the tunnel entrance and waited while the Wind Clan cats emerged, blinking into the daylight. Some of the elders blinked so long, their faces screwed up against the weak sun, that Fireheart guessed they had not been outside the tunnel for some time. Tallstar padded out of the tunnel last of all and walked to the head of his clan. "Shall we take you back the way we came?" Fireheart asked him. "I believe it's a shortcut." "Is it safe?" asked Tallstar. Fireheart saw the hunted look once more in the leader's eyes. "We've met no trouble coming here," Graystripe meowed. Tallstar flicked his tail decisively, as though he were brushing away any doubt. "Good," he declared. "You come with me, Graystripe. Show me the way, Fireheart. Travel beside the clan, and tell my deputy if you see any trouble." Which one is he?" asked Fireheart. Tallstar nodded toward the black tom. "Deadfoot," he meowed. The warrior turned at the sound of his name and prickled his ears. Fireheart dipped his head in greeting. He left Graystripe with Tallstar and joined the other cats. As the clan made its way under the Thunderpath arch, Fireheart could still smell the fire. But when they padded out onto the patch of wasteland, the two legs were nowhere to be seen. Graystripe headed straight for the tunnel where he and Fireheart had spent the night. Tallstar entered first, while Firestar waited at the back until all of the clan had disappeared inside. Only Deadfoot remained. "Are you sure it leads to daylight?" The black tom meowed warily. "It just leads under the Thunderpath. Have you never used this tunnel?" Fireheart asked, surprised. "When our warriors cross the Thunderpath, they prefer to see where they're heading," growled Deadfoot. Fireheart nodded, and the deputy added, "You go first." Fireheart padded down into the dark hole. He emerged to find the Wind Clan cats staring across the field that led to the final Thunderpath. Fireheart saw Tallstar consult briefly with Graystripe before they set off into the long, frost-crisp grass. Fireheart walked with the rest of the clan, flanking one side while Deadfoot limped steadily on the other. Before they were half across the field, it was clear that many of the cats were having trouble keeping up the pace. "Tallstar!" yowled Deadfoot. "We need to travel more slowly." Fireheart looked over his shoulder and saw some of the cats falling farther and farther behind. Morning Flower was among them, the kit swinging from her mouth. Fireheart bounded over to her. She was panting heavily. It couldn't have been long since her kidding. "Let me carry him," Fireheart offered, "just until you caught your breath." Morning Flower glanced warily at Fireheart, but her eyes softened when they met his. She put her kit down and Fireheart took it gently and walked next to her so she didn't lose sight of her precious bundle. Tallstar slowed the pace, but only a little. In spite of his obvious exhaustion, the fact that every rib showed under his fur, he burned with a fierce energy that lent swiftness to his paws. Fireheart could understand part of the reason for his urgency. The sun was steadily climbing above the horizon. Some of the WindClan cats were sick, some old, and all of them were weak from hunger. If they were going to cross the Thunderpath without losing any cats, they would have to do it quickly before the monsters came in their swarms. By the time Fireheart and Morningflower arrived at the hedge, WindClan was gathered around its leader. "We crossed the Thunderpath here," Tallstar announced, above the noise of a monster racing past. The WindClan leader squeezed under the hedge. Deadfoot, Graystripe, and a younger warrior followed him. Morningflower leaned toward Fireheart and took hold of her kit. She had stopped panting now, and as she took the kit from Fireheart, she brushed her cheek gratefully against his. He dipped his head to the Tortoiseshell Queen and followed Graystripe under the hedge. Tallstar and Deadfoot sat staring wordlessly at the wide gray path. Graystripe stood beside them. He flicked his tail toward the younger warrior. "This is One Whisker," he told Fireheart. A monster sped past, almost drowning out Graystripe's words and whipped up stinging dust. Through their streaming eyes, Fireheart mewed a greeting to One Whisker and turned his attention to Thunderpath. "We should try and get the clan over in small groups," he meowed. "Graystripe and I will stay and help any that need help." He looked at the clan leader. "If you agree, Tallstar," he added. Tallstar nodded. "The strongest group will go first," he meowed. The other WindClan cats began to appear through the hedge. Before long, the whole clan was clustered beside them, pressed against the sharp twigs as far back from the Thunderpath as possible. Fireheart and Graystripe moved to the edge, watching for a break in line between the monsters. The Thunderpath was much busier than it had been when they'd crossed last night. One Whisker led the first group forward. "Do you want us to cross with you?" Fireheart offered. He could smell the young Tom's fear. The mottled brown tabby shook his head. The cats beside him peered along the Thunderpath, first one way, then the other. All was quiet, and the group dashed safely over to the other side. Two warriors came next, accompanied by a pair of skinny elders. "Now!" Fireheart ordered as a monster flashed safely past. The 4 WindClan cats stepped out onto the empty Thunderpath. The elders winced as they padded across paws, raw from the damp tunnel. Fireheart willed them on, breathlessly, as they neared the other side. A monster was zooming towards them. "Look out!" Graystripe yowled, and even the 2 elders bounded forward, fur bristling, and hurled themselves onto the other side a heartbeat before the monster raced past. 2 larger groups crossed, leaving just one more. Only once they were safely over would Tallstar and Deadfoot cross. Morningflower and her kit stepped up to Fireheart's side. Behind her trebled 3 very elderly cats. "We'll cross with you," Fireheart meowed. He looked at Graystripe, who nodded. "Tell us when it's safe to go, Graystripe," Fireheart leaned forward to take Morning Flower's kit, but she pulled back, her ears flat. Fireheart looked deep into her frightened amber eyes and understood. She and her kit would live or die together. Now! At Graystripe's yowl, Fireheart and Morning Flower stepped out into the Thunderpath. The elders crept out behind them, with Graystripe beside them. Time seemed to stand still as the elders hobbled slowly forward on stiff, battered, scarred legs. If a monster comes now, we're all fresh kill, Fireheart thought. The other side was still several rabbit leaps away. Come on, urged Graystripe. The elders tried to hurry, but one stumbled. Graystripe had to use his nose to move him back onto his paws. Fireheart heard the distant roar of a monster. Go on ahead, he hissed to Morning Flower. We'll bring the elders. Morning Flower stumbled forward. Her kit squealed as if bumped against the hand in the ground. Fireheart and Graystripe pressed themselves against the elders' scrawny bodies and nudging them forward. The noise of the approaching monsters grew louder and louder. Fireheart grabbed the nearest elder by the scruff of the neck and dragged him forward before turning to haul the second closer to the verge. The monster raced closer. Fireheart closed his eyes and braced himself. There was a screech and an acrid smell that stung his throat, then a fading roar as the monster sped away. Fireheart opened his eyes and looked around. Graystripe was crouching in the middle of the Thunderpath, unscathed, but staring with his eyes as wide as full moons. One elder cowered between them. The other two trembled near the verge. The monster was hurtling away from them, swerving across the Thunderpath. Thanks, StarClan! It had missed them all. Fireheart took a shuddering breath. Come on, he meowed to the last elder. Almost there. Tallstar bounded across with Deadfoot and gathered his trembling clan around him on the verge. One Whisker touched Fireheart's nose with his own. You would have died for us, he murmured. WindClan will never forget that. Tallstar's voice sounded behind them. One Whisker is right. We shall honor you, both in our stories. We must keep going, he continued. We have a long journey ahead of us. As the cats prepared to move off, Fireheart padded over to Morning Flower. She was busy licking her kit. Is he all right? Fireheart asked. Oh, yes, answered Morning Flower. What about you? Asked Fireheart. Morning Flower didn't answer. Fireheart turned to a Gray Queen, who answered an unspoken question. Don't worry, she meowed. I'll take the kit next. The clan followed the hedgerow along the Thunderpath before turning away to the track through the woods. The scents here seemed to soothe the WindClan cats, but the journey had taken its toll. They were traveling slower than ever, and when they reached the fence at the far side, it took all Fireheart's strength to help the weakest cats over. The sun had passed its highest point by the time Fireheart spotted the two-leg place in the distance. He sniffed the air, but there was still no scent of Ravenpaw. Fireheart felt a stab of grief and tried to ignore the nagging thought that he should have never sent his friend here alone. Clouds billowed up beyond the high stones, growing blacker as they covered the sinking sun. A cold wind ruffled the cats' fur, bringing the first drops of rain. Fireheart looked at the WindClan cats. There was no way they could travel through a long, wet night. He was tired, too. And, For the first time since he'd eaten Yellowfang's herbs, he was feeling the effects of hunger. A glance at Graystripe told him that his friend felt the same way. The big gray warrior's tail drooped and his ears were flattened against the spattering rain. "Tallstar," Fireheart called. "Perhaps we should stop and soon seek shelter for the night." The Wind Clan leader stopped and waited while Fireheart caught up with him. "I agree," he meowed. "There's a ditch here. We can shelter in that until sunrise." Graystripe and Fireheart exchanged glances. "We might be better sheltering in the hedgerow," Fireheart suggested. "There are rats in these ditches." Tallstar nodded. "Very well." He turned to his clan and announced that they would be spending the night here. The queens and elders flopped down at once, despite the rain, while the warriors and apprentices gathered to discuss hunting patrols. Fireheart and Graystripe joined them. "I don't know how good the hunting will be here," Fireheart meowed. "There are too many two-legs." Graystripe's stomach growled as if in agreement. The other warriors turned to him with amused but sympathetic eyes. Then they froze as the grass behind them rustled. The Wind Clan warriors bristled and arched their backs, unsheathing sharp claws, but Fireheart and Graystripe turned their heads joyfully. The wind carried a scent as familiar as their own den. "Ravenpaw!" Fireheart gasped as a sleek black cat emerged from the long grass. Fireheart raced over to his old friend and nuzzled him. "Thanks, StarClan, you're safe," he purred. He stepped back and studied Ravenpaw in surprise. What had happened to the skinny, scared black apprentice? This cat was plump, sleek, and his fur, usually so dull before, now shed the rain like a holly leaf. "Firepaw!" Ravenpaw meowed in delight. "Fireheart," Graystripe corrected him. He stepped forward and touched his nose with the black cat. "We're warriors now." "I'm Graystripe." "Do you know this cat?" snarled Deadfoot. The hostility in his voice made Fireheart flinch. He looked at the bristling Wind Clan cats and silently cursed himself for calling Ravenpaw's name out loud. He just hoped Tallstar's warriors had been too distracted to hear it. If Wind Clan mentioned it at a gathering, it would spread through the clans like a forest fire. Ravenpaw was supposed to be dead. "Is he a loner?" asked one Wister. "He can help us find food," Fireheart meowed quickly, glancing at Ravenpaw. The black cat nodded. "I know all the best places to hunt around here," he meowed. His fur didn't even bristle beneath so many hostile gazes. How much he has changed, Fireheart thought. "Why would a loner help us?" demanded Deadfoot. "Loners have helped us before," Graystripe told him. "Another loner once saved us from a rat attack near here." Ravenpaw stepped forward and bent his head respectfully as he addressed the Wind Clan warriors. "Let me help you. I owe my life to Fireheart and Graystripe, and if they're traveling with you, then you must be friends." He lifted his eyes and let his gaze rest on the rest of the Wind Clan cats. They returned his stare, more weary now than hostile. The rain was falling harder, and with their fur bedraggled, that's a pretty fun word, they looked skinnier than ever. "I'll go find Barley," Ravenpaw meowed. "He'll help too." He turned and disappeared through the long grass. Tallstar's eyes burned with curiosity, but all he asked Fireheart was, "Can we trust him?" Fireheart met Tallstar's gaze. "Completely." Tallstar nodded to his warriors. They let the fur lie flat on their shoulders and settled down to wait. Fireheart was almost wet through his skin to when Ravenpaw appeared again. This time Barley was with him. Fireheart greeted the black and white loner with a friendly mew. It was good to see him again. Barley took one look at the dripping cats and meowed, "We need to find you some proper shelter. Follow me." Fireheart leaped forward at once, glad to move his stiffening legs. Graystripe was right behind him, but the WindClan cats hung back, fear and suspicion showing in their eyes. Tallstar blinked at his clan. "We have to trust him," he growled, before turning to follow the loner. One by one, the WindClan cats fell in step behind their leader. Barley and Ravenpaw led them through the hedge into another field. In an overgrown corner, among the brambles and nettles, stood an abandoned two-legged nest. The walls were full of holes where stones had fallen out, and only half the roof was left. The WindClan cats stared fearfully at it. "You won't get me in there," meowed one of the elders. "Two legs never come here now," Barley assured them. "It'll give us some shelter from the rain," urged Fireheart. One of the apprentices whispered loudly, "I'm not surprised he wants to hide in a two-legged nest. Once a kitty pet, always a kitty pet." Fireheart bristled. He hadn't heard that insult for several moons. But the story that a kitty pet had joined a clan must have made rich gossip at any gathering. Of course WindClan would know. He whipped around and glared at the apprentice. "You've spent 2 moons living in a two-legged tunnel. Does that make you a rat?" The WindClan apprentice drew himself up, ruffling out his fur, but Graystripe stepped between them. "Come on, we're just getting wetter the longer we stand out here." Tallstar meowed. "We faced worse than a two-legged shelter these past moons. One night here will do us no harm." You see what I mean, dude? Tallstar is just so chill. He's just like, okay, yeah. Just like, okay. He's such like a yes man. I feel like he's half broken, half chill. He's always just like, okay, all right, fair enough. True. True. Truing. True star. Okay. Yeah, I like Tallstar. He's cool. Very chill guy. The WindClan cats murmured nervously among themselves, clearly reluctant. But with a glance at Fireheart, Morningflower picked up her kid and padded into the two-legged shelter. The Grey Queen followed after, nudging her own kid forward out of the rain. The other cats gradually followed until every cat was inside. Fireheart looked around the gloomy shelter. The ground was bare except for patches where weeds had burrowed their way under the stone walls. The wind and rain found their way through the gaps in the walls and roof, but it was drier and more sheltered than anywhere outside. He watched the WindClan cats sniffing cautiously around. As they began to settle amongst themselves, away from the dripping holes and drafty cracks, he glanced at Graystripe, relieved. Only Tallstar and Deadfoot remained on their paws. "What about food?" asked Deadfoot. Barley spoke. "You should all be restin'," he meowed. "Raven—" Fireheart interrupted him before Barley could finish saying Ravenpaw's name out loud. "Why don't you two show me and Graystripe where the best places to hunt around here are?" "Deadfoot and One Whisker will go with you," meowed Tallstar. Fireheart couldn't decide if the WindClan leader still didn't trust these two strangers, or if he was determined to show that his clan could look after itself. The 6 cats ventured back out into the rain. Hunting would be hard, but Fireheart was starving. Hunger always made him a better hunter. Tonight the voles and mice wouldn't stand a chance. Just show me where they are, he meowed to Barley and Ravenpaw. The two cats led them into a small patch of woodland. Fireheart breathed in a lungful of the familiar scent. Then he dropped into a hunting crouch and began to stalk into the ferns. When the hunting party returned, each cat carried a mouthful of fresh kill. The WindClan cats shared a feast with their new allies that night. Every cat, from the elders to the youngest, ate their fill, and then curled up together to share tongues and a mutual grooming while outside the wind and rain lashed at the walls of the shelter. As darkness settled in, Barley got to his paws. "I'm off. Rats to catch," he meowed. Fireheart stood and touched the loner's nose with his own. "Thank you again," he purred. "This is the second time you've helped us." "Thanks for sending Ravenpaw to me," replied Barley. "He's turning into a fine rider, and it's good to share a meal with a fellow cat from time to time." "Is he happy here?" asked Fireheart. "Ask him yourself," meowed Barley, and with that he turned and disappeared into the night. Fireheart padded over to Tallstar, who was washing his paws. Fireheart couldn't help noticing how swollen and painful they looked. "We'll take turns to keep watch tonight if you like," he offered, flicking his head toward Graystripe and Ravenpaw. Tallstar looked up at him gratefully, exhaustion clouding his eyes. "Thank you," he meowed. Fireheart blinked respectfully at the WindClan leader and went to tell Ravenpaw and Graystripe. His offer to Tallstar had been genuine, but it also meant he could be alone with his two friends. He was desperate to get Ravenpaw out of earshot of the WindClan cats and ask him what he had been up to. Graystripe and Ravenpaw bounded over to his side as soon as he called them. Fireheart led them to a corner of the two-leg nest, close enough to the entrance for them to keep watch, but far enough away that the other cats couldn't hear them. "So what happened after you left?" he asked Ravenpaw as soon as the three friends had settled down. "I headed straight across the WindClan territory, like you suggested." "What about the two-legs dogs?" Graystripe put in. "Were they loose?" "Yes, but it was easy to avoid them," Ravenpaw told him. Fireheart was surprised by how casually his friend dismissed the dogs. "Easy?" he echoed. "I could smell them from a long way off. I just waited until dawn, and once the dogs were tied up again, I tracked down Barley. He's been great. I think he likes having me around." Ravenpaw's expression suddenly clouded. "Which is more than Tigerclaw ever did," he meowed bitterly. "What did you tell him?" Fireheart recognized the hunted look in Ravenpaw's eyes as he spoke about his old mentor. "We said you'd been killed by a ShadowClan patrol," he answered quietly. Two WindClan apprentices were wandering toward them. Fireheart twitched his ears to warn his friends that they had an audience. "Oh, yes," meowed Ravenpaw, raising his voice. "We loners eat clan apprentices whenever we can catch one." The WindClan apprentices shot him a scornful look. "You don't scare us," they mewed. "Really?" purred Ravenpaw. "Well, I guess your meat would be too tough and stringy anyway." "How come you're such good friends with a loner?" one apprentice asked Fireheart. "A wise warrior makes friends wherever he can," Fireheart replied. "If it weren't for this loner, we'd still be cold and hungry instead of dry and well-fed." He narrowed his eyes in warning, and the apprentices slunk away. "So, ThunderClan thinks I'm dead," meowed Ravenpaw. He gazed down at his paws. "Well, It's probably for the best. He lifted his eyes and looked at Fireheart and Graystripe. I'm glad I've got to see you again, he meowed warmly. Fireheart purred, and Graystripe prodded his friend affectionately with a hind paw. But you look tired, Ravenpaw continued. You should get some sleep. I'll keep watch tonight. I can rest tomorrow. He stood up and gently licked each of his old friends on the head. Then he padded to the entrance of the shelter and sat down. Fireheart looked at Graystripe. Are you tired? Exhausted, admitted Graystripe. The Grey Warrior rested his head on his paws and closed his eyes. Fireheart took a final look at Ravenpaw sitting alone in the entrance. He knew now that he had made the right decision in helping Ravenpaw to leave ThunderClan. Perhaps Bluestar had been right when she said Ravenpaw would be better off without the clan. Each cat has his own destiny, he thought. Ravenpaw was happy, and that was all that mattered. I see we have a raid. Hi. Oh my gosh, great. But hey, what's up, everyone? This is kind of embarrassing. We are doing we're doing our Warrior Cats reading of the week. We're currently on book 2. No spoilers, please. We're still, I think we're making our way through chapter 6 right now. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a wonderful stream, Miss Grape. It's good to see you as always, my sweet little dragon. Oh. Yes, we're just reading, so if you guys want to retire here for the night, it's a great place. Happy National Cat Day, by the way. Perfect day to read Warriors. If you guys are new to Warriors, it's a pretty good series. You can get into it pretty easily with where we are in the book right now, too, if you don't know anything. Also, good night, Grape. Enjoy your rest and have a great dinner. That was a good time to take a water break anyway. Yeah, so if you guys need a place to rest for the night, tuck on in and listen to this story. We have alerts muted, and pinned in the chat is our magma canvas if you want to doodle anything you really want, as long as it's appropriate. But come join us in our little collage. And I will continue. When Fireheart woke, Ravenpaw was gone. It was past dawn. The gray rain clouds had begun to drift away. Tinged by the rosy glow of the rising sun, they looked like blossoms floating across a pond. Fireheart stared through a gap in the roof and watched them as the WindClan cats stirred and helped themselves to the leftovers of last night's catch. A short-tailed brown Tom joined Fireheart and gazed up the clouds with him. Fireheart jumped as a curious yowl escaped the brown Tom's throat. The noise brought the other WindClan cats crowding around them, murmuring and anxious. What is it, Barkface? I'm sorry, this guy's name is Barkface. I'm sure he's very cool, but that kind of sounds like an insult. Freaking Barkface. Okay, I'm sorry. Barfface? Oh my god, I'm sorry. My enunciation is so bad. What is it, Barkface? Prompted Morningflower. Has StarClan spoken to you? Fireheart realized that this Tom must be WindClan's medicine cat. He tensed instinctively at the sight of Barkface's bristling fur. The clouds are stained with blood, rasped Barkface, his eyes wide and glazed. It's a sign from our ancestors. There is trouble ahead. This day shall bring an unnecessary death. End of chapter 6. Okay, well that's scary. I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that. What an ominous prophecy. Oh my god. Who is gonna die? I don't remember. Oh man, I don't remember any deaths. At this part, at least. That's scary. Okay. Shall we continue? I feel like we need at least one more chapter to put us on a good stopping point. Let's see. Chapter 7. For a moment, none of the cats moved or spoke. Then Deadfoot growled. Any of the clans could see those clouds. We can't be sure that that message is for us. Hopeful mews spread through WindClan. Tallstar surveyed his clan, then meowed calmly. Whatever StarClan has planned for us, today we return to our home. I can smell more rain in the air. It's time we set off. Fireheart felt relieved at the leader's practical tone. The last thing they needed was hysteria at an ominous prophecy. Tallstar led the way onto the chilly morning air. Fireheart and Greystripe followed. The WindClan leader was right. The wind carried the promise of more rain, and soon. Shall we scout ahead? Fireheart offered. Yes, please, replied Tallstar. Let me know if you see dogs, two legs, or rats. My clan is stronger this morning, but we had trouble with dogs on the way out. We must stay alert. Fireheart could see from the worried look in the leader's eyes that Barkface's warning had disturbed him more than his confident words suggested. His clan might be stronger, but it was no state to fight off attackers. Fireheart raced away with Greystripe at his heels. They took turns going back to the clan, telling Tallstar that the way ahead was clear, or warning him to stay back while the two-leg passed by with the dog. The WindClan cats wordlessly obeyed their leader, plodding on heavy paws in spite of their night's rest. By sun-high, dark clouds had gathered once more, and the first drops of rain were beginning to fall. Actually, hold on. Maybe I can get like a rain noise. There we go. The ground began to slope upward, and Fireheart pushed his way through a hedge. He recognized the red dirt track that led away from this two-leg territory and into WindClan's hunting grounds. His spirits soared, and he met Greystripe's gaze with a look of triumph. Nearly there. The muffled tramp of paw steps sounded behind the hedge. Fireheart spun around and darted back into the field. The WindClan cats had caught up with them. Deadfoot was at the head of the group. He looked startled by Fireheart. This way, Fireheart meowed, showing him the gap through the dripping leaves. He was eager to see WindClan's reaction when they glimpsed the uplands on the other side. With Deadfoot leading, the cats began to file slowly through. Fireheart followed close behind the last cat, but Deadfoot and two warriors had already leaped the ditch and crossed the track, and were pushing into the hedgerow on the other side. Their pace had quickened. They clearly knew where they were. Fireheart had to sprint to catch up. He followed them through the hedge and kept up with them as they bounded forward toward the long slope that led to the uplands and their home. At the foot of the slope, Deadfoot and his warriors paused to wait for the rest of the clan. They closed their eyes against the rain but held their heads high. Fireheart could see their chests rising and falling as they breathed in the familiar scents sweeping from the uplands. Fireheart ran back to the rest of the clan, looking for Morning Flower. He spotted her walking beside a tabby warrior who held her kid in his mouth. Every few steps, the tortoiseshell queen stretched her head to sniff the wet little bundle. It would not be long now before she could settle her kit in the WindClan nursery. Fireheart fell into a step beside Greystripe at the rear. They glanced happily at each other, but didn't speak, too caught up in WindClan's excitement at coming home. Even the elders were moving swiftly now, keeping their bodies low and their eyes narrowed against the rain. As the clan joined Deadfoot at the foot of the slope, the deputy got to his paws, and Tallstar took the lead. Without pausing, Tallstar began to follow a narrow sheep trail through the rough grass and heather. As the clan neared the top, some of the warriors raced ahead again. At the brow of the hill, they made proud silhouettes against the stormy sky, while the wind sent ripples throughout their fur. Ahead stretched their old hunting grounds. Suddenly, 2 apprentices charged past Fireheart and bounded away into the familiar heather. Tallstar stiffened. "Wait!" he yowled. "There might be hunting parties from other clans here." As soon as they heard him, the apprentices skidded to a halt and pelted back to join the clan, their eyes still bright with exhilaration. From a rock-strewn ridge, Fireheart saw a dip in the ground that concealed Wind Clan's camp. With a purr of delight, Morning Flower took her kit from the mouth of the tabby warrior and hurried toward the hollow. Tallstar flicked his tail, and 3 warriors raced towards to escort her as she disappeared over the edge and down into the camp. The Wind Clan leader paused while the rest of his clan rushed into the sheltering bushes below. He turned to Fireheart and Graystripe, his eyes shining. "My clan is grateful for your help," he meowed. "You have both proven you are warriors worthy of StarClan, and Wind Clan has come home. It is time for you to return to yours." Fireheart felt a pang of disappointment. He'd wanted to see Morning Flower settled in the nursery with her kit, but Tallstar was right. There was no need for them to stay here any longer. Tallstar spoke again. "There may be hostile hunting parties around. One Whisker and Deadfoot will escort you to Fortress." Fireheart bowed his head. "Thank you, Tallstar." Tallstar called to his warriors and gave them their orders. Then he turned his tired eyes once more to Fireheart. "You have served Wind Clan well. Tell Bluestar that Wind Clan will not forget that it was ThunderClan who brought them home." Deadfoot padded away in the direction of Fortress. Fireheart and Graystripe walked after him with One Whisker at their side. They stayed close together as they followed a narrow path through a solid mass of gorse that provided good shelter against the rain. Suddenly, One Whisker stopped and sniffed the air. "Rabbit!" he called out joyfully before charging way into the gorse. Deadfoot stopped and waited. Fireheart could see a glint in the deputy's tired eyes. There was a rush of paw steps in the distance, and the rustle of gorse. Then, silence. A moment later, One Whisker returned with a large rabbit dangling from his jaws. Graystripe leaned forward to Fireheart. "A little better than the RiverClan warriors, eh?" Fireheart purred in agreement. One Whisker dropped the fresh kill on the ground. "Anyone hungry?" They ate the rabbit gratefully. When he'd eaten his share, Fireheart sat up and licked his lips. He felt refreshed by a meal, but a weary coldness was beginning to nag at his bones, and his paws felt sore. If he and Graystripe followed his route, if he and Graystripe followed the route they'd come, past Fortress, they still had a long way to go. What if they took a shortcut through RiverClan's hunting grounds? After all, they were on a mission that had been agreed to, at the gathering at least, by all the clans. Could RiverClan really object if they passed through their territory? It wasn't as if they were going to steal prey. Fireheart looked around at his companions and meowed. "You know, it'd be quicker if we followed the river." Graystripe looked up from washing his paw. "But that would mean crossing into RiverClan territory." "We could follow the gorge," Fireheart explained. "RiverClan doesn't hunt there. It's too steep for them to get down the river." Graystripe gently rested a damp paw on the ground. "Even my claws ache," he murmured. "I wouldn't mind taking a shorter route." He turned his yellow eyes hopefully to the Wind Clan deputy. Deadfoot looked thoughtful. Tallstar ordered us to travel with you to Four Trees, he meowed. If you don't want to come with us, we'll understand, Fireheart answered quickly. We'll only be in RiverClan territory for a blink. I can't see us meeting any trouble. Graystripe nodded, but Deadfoot shook his head. We couldn't let you go into RiverClan territory alone, he meowed. You're exhausted, and if you did meet trouble, you're in no state to deal with it. We won't meet anyone, Fireheart had convinced himself. He was determined to convince Deadfoot, too. Deadfoot gazed at him with wise old eyes. If we did go that way, he mused, it would let RiverClan know that WindClan is back. Fireheart pricked his ears in understanding. And once they've smelled fresh WindClan scent, they might not be so keen to come rabbit hunting in your territory again. One Whisker licked at the last traces of fresh kill from his lips and remarked, It'll mean we'll be home before moonrise. You just want to make sure you get a good nest in your den, Deadfoot retorted. His voice was stern, but there was a good-natured gleam in his eye. Then we're going through RiverClan territory? Fireheart asked. Yes, decided Deadfoot. He changed direction and led the cats along an old badger trail that took them away from the barren uplands. Soon they were in RiverClan's territory. Even though the wind and the rain, Fireheart could hear the roaring of the river as it crashed and thundered somewhere up ahead. The cats followed the trail toward the noise. The path shrank until it was a little more than a narrow strip of grass on the very edge of a deep gorge. On one side, the land stretched upward, steep and rocky. On the other, it plunged straight down. Fireheart could see the side of the gorge only a few fox lengths away. The space looked tantalizingly narrow, and Fireheart wondered if he could leap the gap. Perhaps if he weren't so tired and hungry. His paws prickled with fear at the thought of falling, but he couldn't resist peering over the side. Beneath his paws, the ground dropped away in a sheer cliff. Ferns clung to tiny ledges, their leaves glistening, not from rain, but from the spray of the swollen torrent that frothed at the bottom of the gorge. Fireheart pulled back from the edge, the fur along his spine bristling with fear. Ahead of him, Deadfoot, One Whisker, and Graystripe plodded steadily on. They would have to follow this path until they could cut away from it, through a small strip of forest that stood between them and ThunderClan territory. Fireheart stumbled as he hurried to catch up. Deadfoot's ears were pricked and his tail flattened so that it almost dragged along the ground. One Whisker was clearly nervous too. He kept looking sharply at the slope beside them as if he could hear something. Fireheart could hear nothing but the roaring of the river. He glanced anxiously over his shoulder, his eyes darting from side to side. The WindClan cats' warriors was making him uneasy. The steep slope began to flatten out until they could move further away from the cliff edge. The rain was still driving into their faces, and the darkening sky told Fireheart that the sun was setting. But it would not be long now before they reached the forest. There would be more shelter there. The thought of food in a dry nest cheered Fireheart. Suddenly, a warning yowl rumbled in Deadfoot's throat. Fireheart stiffened and tasted the air. A RiverClan patrol. A screech sounded from behind them, and the cat spun around to see 6 RiverClan warriors charging toward them. Fireheart's fur stood on end with horror. The deep gorge with its raging waters was still dangerously close. A dark brown RiverClan cat landed on top of him. Fireheart rolled away from the gorge, kicking furiously with his back legs. He felt teeth bite into his shoulders and struggled under the weight of the hissing warrior. He scrabbled desperately on the sodden ground, trying to free himself. The RiverClan warrior raked his side with sharp claws. Fireheart twisted and bit into the fur of his attacker and clamped his jaws tight and heard the warrior yowl, but the other cat's claws only raked him more fiercely. "This will be the last time you set in RiverClan territory," hissed the brown Tom. Around him, Fireheart was aware his companions struggling fiercely. He knew they were as exhausted as he was from the long trek. He could hear Graystripe yowling violently. One whisker hissed with the pain and rage. Oh wait, I lost where I was. The mute's not broken. Sorry, I had it muted because I forgot to mute the alerts. You guys can meow now. Where was it? Blah, blah, fire, blah, 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 green, blah, blah. Oh yeah. He could hear Graystripe yowling violently. One whisker hissed with pain and rage. Then, from the forest behind them, another sound reached Fireheart's ears. It was full of fury, yet it filled Fireheart with a surge of hope. Tigerclaw's war cry. Fireheart smelled the fast-approaching battle scent of a ThunderClan patrol. Tigerclaw, Willowpelt, Whitestorm, and Sandpaw. Yowling and spitting, the ThunderClan cats leaped into the fray. The brown Tom released Fireheart, and he quickly struggled to his paws. He watched as Tigerclaw pinned a gray tabby Tom to the ground, giving a warning bite to the Tom's hind leg. The Tom ran screeching away into the bushes. Tigerclaw whipped around and fixed his pale eyes on Leopard Fur. The mottled RiverClan deputy was wrestling with Deadfoot. The lame warrior was no match for the ferocious RiverClan she-cat. Fireheart prepared to leap to the rescue, but Tigerclaw was ahead of him. The dark warrior dived forward and grasped Leopard Fur's wide shoulders. With a mighty yowl, he hauled her off the scrawny WindClan deputy. Fireheart heard a vicious squeal behind him. He spun around to see Sandpaw locked in a battle with another RiverClan she-cat. Twisting and tussling, the pair rolled over and over onto the wet grass, spitting and clawing each other fiercely. Fireheart gasped. They were rolling toward the rocky edge of the gorge. One more roll and they would be over the other side. Fireheart sprang. With a mighty swipe, he bundled the RiverClan warrior off of Sandpaw and away from the edge. Sandpaw skidded away, closer to the drop. Fireheart lunged forward and grabbed her by the scruff of her neck with his teeth. She squealed with rage as he dragged her away from the gorge, her paws scrabbling on the muddy ground. She sprang to her paws as soon as he stopped and hissed at Fireheart, her eyes burning with fury. "I can win my own battles without your help!" Fireheart opened his mouth to explain, but a terrible howl made them both turn their heads. Graystripe was leaning perilously over the side of the gorge, his hind legs straining beside him. Fireheart glimpsed, a white paw clutching at the edge. Graystripe leaned down with his mouth open, trying to get a grip at the paw, but it disappeared out of sight in a terrifying rush. Graystripe cried out after it, his wail echoing along the gorge. All the cats stopped fighting at the sound of Graystripe's agonizing call. Fireheart froze, panting with the shock and exhaustion. The RiverClan cats scrambled to the edge of the gorge. Slowly, Fireheart followed them and looked over the side. Far below, through the deafening spray, he saw the dark head of a RiverClan warrior sink beneath the foaming water. With a cold feeling of horror, Fireheart recalled the words of the WindClan medicine cat This day shall bring an unnecessary death. End of chapter 7. Do I leave it there? Do not stop. Okay. We'll do one more. Yeah, it's not Gray Stripe, guys. It's not Gray Stripe, but Gray Stripe was trying to save who fell. I gotta read the graphic novels. The new graphic novels are phenomenal. They are so good, you guys. I know you guys fucking read manga. I know you're nerds. If you enjoy manga, please look at the new graphic novels. They're really well drawn and really, really well made. Okay. As requested, Chapter 8. Leopard Fur lifted her head and yowled into the wind. White Claw! No! Gray Stripe scrambled backward until all 4 paws were on safe ground. His wet fur bristling and his eyes were wide with shock. I tried to grab him. He just lost his footing. I didn't mean to. The words tumbled out breathlessly. Fireheart bounded across to his friend and pressed his nose into his flank for comfort, but Gray Stripe backed blindly away. One by one, the other cats turned away from the edge and looked at Gray Stripe. The River Clan cats' eyes were narrowed with fury, their shoulders tense. Willowpelt and White Storm moved instinctively towards Gray Stripe, taking up a defensive position on either side of him. Leopard Fur growled deep in her throat, but it was a warning to the other cats. They were to stay back. The River Clan deputy stared Tiger Claw straight in the eye. "This has gone beyond a border fight," she murmured. "We shall return to our clan. It has become a matter to settle at another time, in a different way." Tiger Claw defiantly returned Leopard Fur's stare. He showed no fear, but merely gave the smallest of nods. Leopard Fur flicked the tip of her tail, then turned and padded away. The River Clan cats followed her, and the whole patrol disappeared into the bushes. Leopard Fur's menacing words made Fireheart shiver. A sense of foreboding settled over his heart, like a cold shadow, as he realized that this battle might have started a war. "We should leave," meowed Deadfoot, limping forward. "Your 2 young warriors served us well, and my clan thanks you." But the formal words of gratitude sounded hollow after the tragedy they had just witnessed. Tiger Claw nodded, and the 2 Wind Clan warriors began to head back toward their own territory. Fireheart meowed a quiet farewell to One Whisker as he passed. One Whisker glanced briefly at him and walked on. Fireheart noticed that Sandpaw was standing at the edge of the gorge, staring down at the torrent below. Her paws seemed frozen to the ground, and her eyes remained fixed on the steep drop. Fireheart guessed she had realized how close she had come to sharing White Claw's fate. Fireheart started toward her, but Tiger Claw growled, "Follow me." The tabby warrior charged away through the trees, and the rest of the patrol followed after him, but Fireheart hesitated beside Gray Stripe. "Come on," he urged. "We should keep up." Gray Stripe shrugged, his eyes dull and clouded with pain, and began to pad after the others, dragging his paws as if they were made from stone. Oh my gosh, my poor comedic relief just killed somebody. Poor Gray Stripe. Okay. Soon the cats ahead of them were out of sight, but Fireheart was able to track them down by their scent. Tiger Claw was leading them back toward ThunderClan territory, straight through RiverClan's strip of the forest. Fireheart guessed there was no need to worry about RiverClan patrols right now. The damage had been done. It would be pointless to take the long way around by 4 trees. Tiger Claw had halted the patrol and was waiting for Fireheart and Graystripe at the border of ThunderClan's territory. "I thought I told you to follow me," he growled. "Graystripe was..." Fireheart began. "The sooner Graystripe gets back to camp, the better," interrupted Tiger Claw. Graystripe said nothing, but Fireheart bristled at the deputy's harsh tone. "White Claw's death wasn't his fault." Tiger Claw turned away. "I know," he meowed, "but it's done. Come on, and this time, keep up." He leaped away, crossing the scent markers that bounded ThunderClan's territory. Fireheart had been looking forward to this moment since leaving WindClan's den among the Thunderpaths. Now, he had hardly noticed as he pounded past the markers, keeping one eye on Graystripe. The rain eased as they followed the familiar trail to the camp, but the patrol emerged from the gorse tunnel. Some of the other clan cats bounded out of their dens, their tails held high in greeting. "Did you find WindClan? Are they safe?" Mousefur called Fireheart. Fireheart had nodded absently, but felt too hollow to reply. Mousefur's tail dropped. The other cats hung back at the edge of the clearing. The expressions on the faces of the returning cats told them something serious had happened. "Come with me," Tiger Claw ordered Fireheart and Graystripe, leading them toward Blue Star's den. Fireheart kept close to Graystripe so that his fur brushed against his friend. Graystripe just padded onward, neither drawing closer to Fireheart nor moving away. A warm mew welcomed them from the shadows beyond the lichen. The 3 cats pushed their way into the snug cave. "Welcome!" Blue Star leaped up, purring. "Did you find WindClan? Did you bring them back?" "Yes, Blue Star," Fireheart replied quietly. "They are safe in their camp. Tallstar told me to thank you." "Good, good," meowed Blue Star. Her eyes darkened as she noticed Tiger Claw's grim expression. "What has happened?" "Fireheart decided to return home through RiverClan territory," growled Tiger Claw. Graystripe looked up for the first time. "It wasn't just Fireheart who decided," he began. Tiger Claw interrupted him. "They were found by a RiverClan patrol. If my patrol hadn't heard their yelps in time, they wouldn't have made it home at all." "So you rescued them," meowed Blue Star, relaxing. "Thank you, Tiger Claw." "It's not that simple," Tiger Claw snorted. "They were fighting beside the gorge. A RiverClan warrior who was battling Graystripe fell over the edge." Fireheart noticed Graystripe flinch at Tiger Claw's words. Blue Star's eyes widened. "Dead?" she asked, looking horrified. Fireheart meowed quickly. "It was an accident. Graystripe would never kill a cat over a border fight." "I doubt Leopard Fur sees it that way." Tiger Claw turned on Fireheart, his tail lashing from side to side. "What were you thinking? Traveling through RiverClan territory, and with WindClan cats? You've sent a message that we are their allies, which will only drive RiverClan and ShadowClan closer together." "WindClan was with you in RiverClan territory?" Blue Star looked even more alarmed. "Just 2 warriors. Tallstar gave us an escort home. We were tired," Fireheart murmured. "You should not have been in RiverClan territory," Tiger Claw snarled, "especially with WindClan cats." "It wasn't an alliance. They were escorting us back home," Fireheart protested. "Does RiverClan know that?" spat Tiger Claw. RiverClan knew that we were going to find WindClan and bring them back. They agreed to it at the gathering. They shouldn't have attacked us. It was a special mission, like the journey to the High Stones. They didn't agree to let you travel through their territory, spat Tiger Claw. You still don't understand clan ways, do you? Blue Star stood up. Her eyes flashed as she looked around the three cats, but her voice was calm. You should not have entered RiverClan's hunting grounds. It was a dangerous thing to do. She looked sternly from Fireheart to Graystripe. Fireheart searched her eyes for a harsher reapproach, but could not find one. He felt torn between gratitude and guilt. He had caused a rift with RiverClan that might threaten the safety of his clan for many moons. Blue Star went on, flicking her tail uneasily. At the same time, you did well to find RiverClan and bring it back, but we will need to prepare ourselves for an attack from RiverClan. We need to start training more warriors. Fireheart and Graystripe. Frostfur tells me 2 of her kits are almost ready to begin their training. I want each of you to take a kit as your apprentice. Fireheart felt stunned. What an honor! He couldn't believe Blue Star had suggested it, especially now. He glanced furtively? I'm sorry, what word? Furtively? Furtively. He glanced furtively. Is that like a cat pun? Furtively? No, it says furtively. Furtively? I don't know. Yeah, furtively. Okay. He glanced furtively at Tiger Claw. The deputy sat rigid as a rock. Graystripe raised his head. But none of Frostfur's kits are 6 moons yet. It won't be long before they are. The divisions at the last gathering troubled me. I think I fumbled that. I'm sorry, my brain is like kaput today. The divisions at the last gathering troubled me, and today... Blue Star's voice trailed off, and Fireheart noticed Graystripe look down at his paws once more. Tiger Claw was staring at Blue Star, his amber eyes hard. Wouldn't it be better to ask more experienced warriors like Longtail or Darkstripe to take on another apprentice? He asked. These 2 are hardly more than apprentices themselves. I did consider that, replied Blue Star. But Longtail will be busy enough with Swiftpaw, and Darkstripe is getting Dustpaw ready to become a full warrior. What about Running Wind? Tiger Claw asked. Running Wind is a fine hunter and a loyal warrior. Blue Star answered, but I don't think he has the patience for mentoring ThunderClan has better use for his skills. And you think these 2 have got what it takes to train ThunderClan warriors? Tiger Claw meowed scornfully. Fireheart flinched. Tiger Claw was eyeing him alone as he spoke. Does he think a kitty pet is not fit to train clan-born cats? He wondered angrily. Blue Star stared back at her deputy. We shall find out. Don't forget, they brought WindClan home, and of course, Tiger Claw, she added, I am relying on you to oversee the training. Tiger Claw nodded, and Blue Star turned back to Fireheart and Graystripe. Get something to eat, she ordered, then rest. We'll have the naming ceremony for the kits at Moon High. Fireheart led Graystripe out of the den, leaving Tiger Claw behind with Blue Star. The rain had eased to a fine drizzle. I'm starving, meowed Fireheart. He could smell the warm scent of fresh kill in the clearing. Are you coming to get something to eat? Graystripe stood behind him, his eyes distant and sad. He slowly shook his head. I just want to sleep, he muttered. Once his stomach was full, Fireheart pushed away into the warrior's den. Graystripe was curled up in a ball, his head tucked beneath his paws. Fireheart's eyes felt heavy, but his fur was still soaked, and he forced himself to wash thoroughly before settling into his warm nest. Willowpelt woke Fireheart with a gentle prod. "Time for the ceremony," she whispered. Fireheart lifted his head and blinked. "Thanks, Willowpelt." He meowed as she ducked out of the den. He nudged Graystripe. "Ceremony," he hissed, then stood up and stretched his nose until his legs quivered. Oh, stretched his nose. What? I was like, what? That don't make no sense. He stood up and stretched up on his toes until his legs quivered. He was about to become a mentor. Excitement tingled in his paws. Graystripe stirred and uncurled slowly, like an old cat. Suddenly, Fireheart's paws seemed to remember their long journey and began to ache again. At least the rain had stopped. Oh. Him. Do I have the nighttime? Oh, yeah. In silence, Fireheart and Graystripe padded into the clearing. The moon shone above the trees, turning the wet branches silver. "Well done for bringing WindClan home!" The cheery voice made Fireheart jump. He turned to see Halftail settling down beside him. "You must come and share the story with the elders one night." Fireheart nodded absently, then looked back into the clearing. Frostfur was already sitting below the high rock. A kit sat on either side of her, one smudgy gray and one ginger. Oh, by the way, Frostfur, if you don't remember, this is the queen whose kids were taken by ShadowClan. So these were the babies that we saved from ShadowClan. Yeah, kids. Her kittens. Merry almost half birthday. Thank you. A kit sat on either side of her, one smudgy gray and one ginger. The White Queen twisted her head and licked behind their ears. The little gray she-kit shook her head impatiently as her mother fussed over her. Once more, excitement made Fireheart's fur tingle. Beside him, Graystripe sat staring at the ground. "Aren't you excited?" Fireheart asked. Graystripe shrugged. "Graystripe," Fireheart lowered his voice. "Whiteclaw's death wasn't your fault. It was the worst place for an attack, and the RiverClan cats would have known that. Sandpaw nearly fell over the edge, too," he added. He glanced at Sandpaw sitting nearby. Beside her, Dustpaw stared at Fireheart with raw jealousy in his eyes. Fireheart couldn't blame him. He was about to become a mentor when Dustpaw hadn't even been given his warrior name. But he flinched when Dustpaw leaned toward Sandpaw and whispered, loud enough for Fireheart to hear, "I feel sorry for Fireheart's apprentice. Imagine a clan cat being trained by a kitty pet." But for once, Sandpaw didn't react. She just shot an uncomfortable glance at Fireheart. Fireheart turned back to Graystripe. "Bluestar doesn't blame you," he insisted. "She knows you're a good warrior. She's giving you your own apprentice." Graystripe lifted his eyes and replied bitterly, "She's just doing it because ThunderClan needs more apprentices. And why do we need them? Because I've given RiverClan an excuse to hate us." Fireheart was shocked by the harshness in Graystripe's tone. Bluestar's meow summoned them before he could say anything more. Fireheart padded toward his clan leader, Graystripe trailing after him. When they reached the center of the clearing, Bluestar gazed around at the assembly of cats. "This moon high, we gather to name 2 new apprentices. Come forward, you two." The gray kit darted from her mother's side into the clearing, her fluffy tail held high and her blue eyes wide. The ginger kit came forward more slowly. His ears were pricked, and he frowned with seriousness as he walked to the foot of the high rock. Fireheart's heart began to pound in his chest. Which one of these kits would he be given? He couldn't help feeling that solemn-faced ginger kit would be easier to train, but there was something about the gray kit's clumsy enthusiasm that reminded him of himself when he had first joined the clan. From this day forward, Blue Star meowed, gazing down at the little gray kit. Until she has earned her warrior name, this apprentice will be called Cinderpaw. Cinderpaw! The gray kit couldn't help but mewing her new name out loud. A quietening hiss came from Frostfur, and Cinderpaw ducked her head apologetically. Fireheart, meowed Blue Star. You are ready for your first apprentice. You will begin Cinderpaw's training. Pride swelled in Fireheart's chest. You are fortunate, Fireheart, to have had more than one mentor. I expect you to pass down everything I taught you to this young apprentice. Fireheart suddenly began to feel a bit overwhelmed. Blue Star's words carried a weight of responsibility he wasn't sure he was ready for. And share with her the skills you learned from Tigerclaw and Lionheart. At the mention of Lionheart, Fireheart pictured the golden warrior looking down from the silver pelt with warm, encouraging eyes. He lifted his head and returned Blue Star's gaze as steadily as he could. And this apprentice, Blue Star turned her gaze toward the ginger kit, will be known as Brackenpaw. Brackenpaw didn't move or make a sound. Graystripe, you will train Brackenpaw. Our lost friend Lionheart was your mentor. I hope that his skill and wisdom will pass through you to your new apprentice. Graystripe lifted his head high at Blue Star's words, and for a moment a gleam of pride showed in his eyes. He stepped forward and touched his new apprentice's nose with his own. Brackenpaw returned the touch politely. Only his eyes, which shone like stars, gave away the fact that this young cat was as excited as his sister. As soon as Fireheart saw the pair touch noses, he realized he should have done the same. He stepped forward quickly. Cinderpaw jerked her head up, and their noses collided painfully. Cinderpaw touched her nose again, this time less awkwardly, but Fireheart's eyes were beginning to water. He could see that Cinderheart was trying to stop her whiskers from twitching with amusement, and a flush of embarrassment washed over him. I'm a mentor, he reminded himself. Fireheart looked around at the rest of the clan. Every cat seemed to be nodding approvingly. Then his eyes found Tigerclaw. From the edge of the clearing, the deputy's amber gaze seemed to mock him. Fireheart looked hastily down at Cinderpaw, who was staring at him with undisguised pride. Fireheart's fur suddenly began to prickle. He wanted to be a great warrior and a good mentor more than anything else, but it seemed painfully clear that Tigerclaw was just waiting for him to fail. End of Chapter 8. Ads in 5? That's perfect timing then. I'm glad we did Chapter 8. I had no idea that the naming ceremony was going to happen so soon into arriving, so that was nice that we get to... Sorry if I fumbled that. I feel like I was reading so sloppy today. But yeah, Cinderpaw and Brackenpaw. We have new characters. One is a ginger cat and one is a gray cat. I personally love Cinderpaw. She's full of spunk, as you can see. Yeah, she's very cute. She's very fail girl. I love Cinderpaw. She's great. And we have yet to see Brackenpaw's character come through just yet, but they're also a pleasure. Lots to think about now. Obviously, WindClan just got back. River Clan has some tense borders now with Thunder Clan. Don't know what's happening. Tiger Claw still looming mysteriously. And Shadow Clan T-posing for these chapters. So, we have a lot to think about for the future. It looks like Chapter 9 will start off with more gray stripes. So, when we get to that next week, we'll have a few more chapters. It looks like we're almost halfway through Book 2 already. That's crazy. We are flying through. Again, I'm sorry for reading a little sloppy today. If anybody listens to the read through, I'm embarrassed. It wasn't my best day, but I had kind of a frazzled brain. Thank you guys for enjoying the reading. Thank you guys so much for enjoying the magma canvas as well, by the way. The drawings look fantastic. Hold on.
Snuff wave you.
This is where we're working on now. This is what everybody came up with while we were reading. Oh my gosh! OTB Barley Ravenpaw! I love that one. Okay, I don't want to say it, but it's actually kind of confirmed, by the way. They are push his fingers together. I think they are I think they are cute little gay farm cats. So Barley X Ravenpaw is a really cute couple. I love that one. I love how Barley's just some like cowboy cat who's just like, who's this little clan snack for me? I love Barley Ravenpaw. It's so good. Look how cute the drawing. Lightning McQueen is about to hit Firepaw. Lightning McQueen, the fucking Lightning McQueen Fireheart. That's crazy. Somebody was playing X's and O's. We have more drawings of Brian. Look out! You guys are so funny, dude. Oh my gosh, the freaking truing. What is this like top left image? That's so fucking funny. The like face. It looks like the alien. Thank you guys so much for this amazing Canva. I'm going to keep this up, obviously. If anybody wants to finish their drawings, feel free. And then I'm going to save them. I've collected all the chapters that I've read so far. We usually have a canvas drawing for all of them. Just if anybody enjoys doing something while they listen, it's great to just doodle. Thank you everyone for contributing. This is beautiful. I really love this one. Thank you guys again for coming to another really cozy Saturday. I'm gonna go on and end the stream. I won't raid anybody for the sake of anybody who might have peacefully dreamt the night away during the reading. So yeah, before ads go and take you, I just want to say have a great night and thank you so much for coming. The story is super picking up and it only gets better. So next episode, we'll have the mentor saga for our heroes, and we'll see what happens then. Have a great night, everyone.